Hmm.
All right, Craig is in now. You've been unmuted, Brayden. As long as you don't abuse your privileges. I just that sound always takes me back to 2013 with all the goddamn quickscope montages.
Wasn't 2013 the best year? Didn't mankind peak in 2013?
No. I hate all of you. That was I don't even know if Craig is picking up these sounds, but
God, I hope so.
you're the
If you can pick up all the sounds.
Max, you're the audio editor. Shouldn't you not want there to be abuse of audio tracks? Whatever.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but when I am the one abusing the audio tracks, when Atham was saying all the sinister stuff to Cyril, I kept adding Vine Boom audio effects.
Did you actually?
Yes.
Like in the official recording?
I don't know if it made it through, but
I would imagine that Cameron would have deleted those if he listened to the whole thing.
I cut it down to just 2 before I sent it out, so hopefully those are still in and he didn't realize.
Are you talking about like the Vine booms that go like when you say like bra goes boom and like just
Yes.
Oh my
I really hope that made it through.
I don't know how to feel about that one, actually. It's hilarious, but at the same time I feel like it would completely destroy the decorum of the interaction. Then again, Atham was saying some pretty sus things, so that's another problem. Oh well.
Listen, it's either very good because of the Vine booms, or it's very good because of not the Vine booms. It's a win-win for me, honestly.
God. Oh, speaking of, did you send over the second or third Scarthorn episode? Just because?
No, I have to do that still. I have to finish that up, and then I'll send it over.
Okay, no pressure or anything. Don't mean to rush it. Just I wanted to remember that in case I forgot which episode that took place in.
Yeah, I have most of it done. I'm just doing some last minute stuff. It's kind of harder because I have to go back through it and make sure that Reese didn't dox herself again.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be fine. The only people who are actually watching are our friends or their friends from college, I should say. Side note, I guess for weekly news, I will say that it is unfortunate that we don't have the episodes out yet, but it's also unfortunate that I can't yell at Cameron for it and say that he's having favoritism for the Atham episodes because you're the audio editor.
I'm the slow one.
Yeah, you should be showing favoritism to your group's party instead of the others.
Aldris has
I know. Aldris secretly is a plant. Oh
no!
The most
photosynthesize.
Oh my goodness.
That's what. Okay, you know what? Forget it, Reese. That's
because it's double meanings.
You should be ashamed of yourself. The other thing is that our most recent episode is the most viewed on the channel by far.
I know. It's horrifying.
I think it's mainly because people think that it's a reading of an SCP thing, and they really like the Ananta Shesha art that Cameron used. Which, speaking of, he's here now.
Anyway, so that's why I hate Cameron with every fiber of my being.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
Well, that's what I was for.
He's just like uglier Sean.
What?
That's what Canadian Sean means, right?
Oh my god! Can we not? All right. Second of all, I was going to say, Cameron, for future Cameron or this Cameron, whichever one. I was actually saying is that they should have. I wish that we could make fun of you, but we can't because it's Max who's the slow one on the Scarthorn episodes, and I was saying that he should be showing favoritism to Team Ebb instead of Team A, which is perplexing. I guess he just loves Atham so much, which is how I'm going to keep saying it until I shame him into doing his duty. Max loves Atham. Max loves Atham. Are you speaking? I think you forgot to push the talk.
No, he's just so angry.
I think.
Poked
I
after
guess
him.
yeah, he is. All right. Well, that's fine. We are delayed enough. Well, we can get started here. You did level up to level 11, right, Reese? Yeah, you've been okay. Good. All right, so we are going to go back to down in the clouds. It is still daytime. Last we left off, it was wreck time when Yarvison got his ass handed to him. And Nilly did not even have to do a finger. It didn't even have to lift a finger to do anything. He just face planted. And now, I believe Ebb was still in the cafeteria, didn't want to do anything last. Aldris had talked to a heretical prisoner, excuse me, and Yarvison was recovering from his epic fail montage clip. And that is where we're going to come back to it. It is midday. You guys still have some daylight. You had just met with Ricky the Shark, goon of the Black Hand, who's somehow miraculously alive. You healed his wounds. Nissy/Nilly, whatever your preferred nickname for him is, both are valid. Is playing some basketball. And yeah, it seems that guards have a very hands-off approach when it comes to the prisoners. It seems a lot of them are just kind of standing up on catwalks and different upper tunnels to watch you guys, but they really don't seem to interfere at all when it comes to the prisoners doing stuff. What do you want to do? Last time you were talking about a potential breakout strategy that was provided by Ricky. You know that there are two forbidden wings, one for your own safety, the other for, well, I guess still your safety, but more just people caring about their safety and therefore will take it out on your safety. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Well, I think our strategy should be to find this heart of the heart of the island, heart of the prison, heart of all the vines and whatnot. I think that's probably the key to how these vines are the security system here. And if we can maybe figure out why this island is quite so cursed with a vine epidemic, then we can potentially stop it. Now the only problem is, how do we get there?
Yeah, hasn't been that much luck on searching for it. I think we'd be going pretty blind if we just start adventuring. But like we could do that.
Well, you did mention that you wanted. Aldris mentioned training Ebb on her necromantic abilities, but you needed a place where the vines won't attack you for just shooting out spells and practicing magic.
I learned that, as far as the other prisoners are aware, the only way into the necromancer wing, which is probably the best place to do this, is to get strange cryptic whispering at night, which I'd rather avoid, so I'm going to try and find a different way into that place. If I can't, then I guess I'll be whispered at.
What do you mean by strange cryptic whispers at night?
I was told that the rumor was that certain people hear rumors or whispers at night and then disappear, never to be seen again.
That's cryptic.
Which is like classic.
And how do you know they hear whispers at night? If they just disappear after hearing the whispers.
I get the feeling that you hear whispers for a couple nights, and then when you follow them, you like go into the disappearing area.
Okay, yes, makes sense.
Otherwise, you're right. It could just be prison stories.
Nope. Carry on. Sorry.
Aldris and Ebb, roll me insight checks real quick.
Uh-oh. Oh, actually, that's not bad. Insight. I'm not proficient in insight.
Ooh, 18.
Ooh, that's what I've been waiting for.
20.
Oh.
Oh,
Unnatural. Dirty, disgusting 20.
Unnatural, disgusting, abomination.
An abominable 20.
Gross. I will say that to get there, you are correct that is one of the most common ways, especially for those. You had been asking, though, specifically about how and how necromancers got there and why there are none among the main flock. And so those ones were generally the ones who were hearing the whispers. That's not necessarily how everybody gets down there. Ebb, with your 19, you do remember that Nissi mentioned that sometimes guards and like other gangs in the prison will just throw people like into the different catacombs, and that's dangerous enough that that's probably a guaranteed death sentence. Aldris, with your slightly higher one, you do notice that there's an ominous looking like stairway just kind of right at the end of the yard.
Just oozing like dark essence.
Yeah, just for those who know JoJo. Dark essence and black smoke and things like that.
A menacing door.
Yes, exactly. It's just standing there.
Oh, man.
You okay there, Ebb?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, it's this.
You have to post something on Tavern Posting right now.
I am.
Okay, I mean, maybe. It is, to be fair, it's more in the ground. It's like a stairway down door. But yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean, if nobody wants to do anything, yeah, just a vine will come up and chuck one of you in there.
No, yeah, I'll say, well, better than no leads. I'll head down.
Ebb follows.
Jens is surprised, but will also follow.
Jens, I will mention that you were going to maybe talk to Gronson, I believe, last session about where a library was, as Nissi did mention that to you.
Yeah, but they're going down a spooky door, so I'm going to go with that.
You think I can't handle myself in the spooky tunnels?
No, it's just that the spooky tunnels are inherently more interesting than talking about a library.
What?
Wow.
Very fair. Although I will say, it does sound like Dr. Sir is very upset with you right now.
Yeah, exactly. I made that talking about childhood trauma survey very interesting when Ebb decided to do that.
Ebb can't read. She didn't know what was happening.
That is true, and there's nothing more scary and interesting than the unknown. So for an illiterate, the library is kind of like the Temple of Doom.
What about bugs?
What?
Bugs are scarier than the unknown. They're big enough.
Oh my god. Is Al just afraid of bugs, or is this just you talking?
It's not even me. I'm just thinking, like, I would be more scared of a 50-foot spider than a dark corridor.
That's an incredibly specific binary option there.
It's one or the other.
You know, in Lord of the Rings, you get both if you try and walk into Mordor. Anyway, the point is you guys get to the edge of this kind of stairway to the bottom. There is a stone set of bars that has some seaweed and whatnot hanging off of it. There's some water dripping down on the smooth stones that have been, I guess, cut into by water and time a little bit. They definitely look a little creaky and uneven. Like every time you'd step on it, no matter how frictioned, but frictioned, I guess, soles you have, you'd still be afraid to lose your footing. I'm assuming you open the door.
Yeah.
All right, you guys open the door and you start walking down. Oh, do you need a second? Okay, I'll give her a moment.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. So you guys are walking down. Tell you what, why doesn't everybody give me a quick what's the word?
Perception.
No, give me an athletic. No, tell you what, everybody give me a dexterity saving throw. Also, look, there's a cat.
Yeah. This is what my dad brought me.
God. Okay, so this dice is never going in dice jail. It is rolling very well for me today.
I rolled a 14.
I rolled another disgusting, abominable 20.
Ooh.
Gross.
This time it was less on my skill and more on luck.
Wash your 20s, Max. Gosh.
No.
Hmm.
I don't want
what
to
did you-
slip down the stairs like a Mario 64 slide.
You?
What was your dexterity saving throw, Eb? If you did not make one yet, you can make one now.
12.
Well,
Ugh.
okay. Well, Eb, I'm assuming based on the order that you guys decided to go down, you were in between. You were in between the other two, so all of a sudden you trip forward and you fall onto the back of Aldris as things start to get darker and dimmer. Aldris, how tall
But
are
I
you
have
again?
dark vision.
It's
I'm
not about the vision; it's about the slippery stones. I don't know how you
fairly
failed that out of
tall.
everyone.
because Dragonborn are just naturally like tall. I'm about 6'5".
Okay, I don't think Eb's 3-foot ass is going to really knock you over.
If it knocked him over.
Yeah, I don't think that she will. But
Unless it sweeps the legs, in which
Yeah,
case
I
it
feel
will
like
bowl me over.
We should do a strength saving throw to see who.
I would like that. I would like to make
yeah,
a
let's
saving
do
throw and
that.
fall down the stairs.
all right, you can also auto fail it if you'd like.
I don't need to auto fail it because. Oh no, wait! I forgot I'm actually jacked. I will auto fail it.
Oh wait, no, I got a 15. Is that enough?
What? For I thought you got a 12.
Oh yeah, but that was
I got a
dexterity, not
14.
strength.
I got a 14 on my save.
All right, you guys start tumbling down in a mesh of spaghetti. As you know, you guys are. It's like there's a slow blink, blink. You guys hear your footsteps echo as the water kind of smacks with every step lightly. All of a sudden, your foot slips as your heel comes off the stone, Eb. And what is her falling, yelp, or what does she say right as she falls and hits into? In fact, she's so short, she doesn't knock him over by a weight, but she's not tall enough to hit his torso really, and just kind of slips into his legs and like a stick between the spokes. So what does that sound like?
Eb goes, "Dear God, please don't look up." Or like, oh God, not again. And then goes down the stairs.
And then she just don't look up, and then falls
Look up at him.
nearly immediately.
Well, the last time she got stuck between someone's legs, it was Dory.
Oh God, that's right. Yeah. No, I mean Aldrich is wearing trousers, I believe,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Eb's not taking any chances.
Okay. You fall and you just like, and then Aldris, what do you think Aldris says as he's falling? What is his yelp sound? Or
Oh,
just
God!
what is Jens, you just see both of them tumble and get
I will.
swallowed up by the darkness, and careen down the corner. It's a spiral staircase kind of, so it's kind of not inclining. It's curving. So you just see them get spiraled away. What do you do? You say anything, or you just run after?
I run after them.
Okay, we're getting down the staircase faster.
These staircases are incredibly dangerous to fall down.
Can I try and twist myself so that like I'm cocooning Eb, so that if someone breaks their neck, it's me and not the kid?
Finally, somebody.
Can I shift so I'm like surfboarding on Aldris's back?
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'll just give me an athletics check. Eb, give me an acrobatic.
Eb is squirming around.
Oh no. 6.
18.
Aldous, you go to twist and like grab her, but Eb, in a moment of pure selfishness and letting the intrusive thoughts win, uses your rotational force against you and slips out from under you, and then starts riding on your back because you just become this black dragon bullet down the thing, and she's
Tails. He slides down the stairs. Plus, it's kind of like armor. I'm just wearing leather. No, I'm just wearing prison clothes.
I'm just saying, you're using another person as a basically a toy. So that's what I was talking about. Which, I mean, all power to you. I'm just saying you definitely were doing this, I think, not out of altruism. So as you go to do this moment of heroic protection, you feel somebody tug and twirl you more than you meant to with your spin. You find yourself flat on your stomach as your chin is just barely missing each oncoming step as you start to careen faster and faster, and you just hear Eb say, "What?" as she's.
This is extremely unsafe.
Eb does a handstand.
All right, roll me another acrobatics check. DC 20.
You're gonna break your neck.
Oh no, 15.
You both fall to the Jens. You hear from the top of the stairwell now, or like close to the top. You hear "Cowabunga, this is extremely unsafe," and then just a crash at the bottom of the stair that echoes.
Jens decides to stop running and just walk safely down the stairs at this point.
It's the classic cartoon sound of like when something slides into the trash and then the cat.
I'll make sure to add
That's what's happening.
No, you just hear. Oh no, that didn't work. You just hear that at the end. Jens, Ab and Aldous, I want you to each take 1d4 of damage. You can roll it yourself.
Sorry, how much damage?
1d4.
Ugh.
Yeah, the last one of that crazy cartoon run and slip thing was what I was thinking of, Brayden. So yeah,
Sean, you said I should roll a d4?
No. Just Aldous and Ab. They are the only ones who fight.
Yeah, I lost I'm brushing myself off.
How much did you lose?
I only lost 2.
I lost 4.
Well, to be fair,
so like I get up and I like you hear the audible crack as I like shove my back into place.
Oh yeah, it's a little rough. You're not too bad. You just definitely hurt some bones here and there, but a little sore. Nothing a good night's rest won't heal.
I am shockingly not more injured by that. Are you okay?
Eb is dusting herself and like, yeah, what? Oh, yeah. That was pretty sick. You make a great surfboard, and pats him on the back.
As Jens comes around the corner, he says, I assume everything was fine when I heard Cowabunga. Did anyone hurt?
No.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Where are we?
We seem to be under the rest of the prison. If I had to imagine, this is probably where they put the, other necromancers.
What does it look like, Sean?
Yes.
I
So
don't have dark vision.
who does have dark vision? Like, is there anything people want to do to help see it? It's a very long, dark corridor right now. So Eb has. Okay, great. So for the once, not everybody spams dark vision. That's great. That does mean there's a lot of responsibility on you, Eb. I will mention.
I do have the cantrip green flame blade.
Yeah, I can make everything darker.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm gonna with the power of Rocco, light up Rocco. I'm gonna turn Rocco into a little lamp.
Oh my god, that's really
Alright.
cool.
Rocco,
All right, boss. I got this.
Thanks,
Oh, I
buddy.
need a melee weapon. Oh, I don't have one of those. I'm in prison.
Dim the light in a 10-foot radius.
Oh my
Rocco,
This is amazing.
Rocco starts going. I got your boss. He makes it. He has to make that sound constantly as he is doing this.
Why would you do this? This is an audio harassment, and also we can't see as well.
Well, I can see slightly better now, and you know what? Let's Rocco be an active member of this party, okay?
Wait, was it dim light in 5-foot radius?
Dim light in a 10-foot radius.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you can still you can see better now.
Never mind. I get it. It makes dim light. I thought it was dimming the light in a 10-foot radius. I was really confused.
That would be so funny. It's just for the
Yeah, it's
movie.
gonna be.
It's on
So
me.
the cavern or the hallway below is a little different than where you guys originally came in. The other one felt like much more of like a cavern, a natural form cave. This feels like a mined out section rather than something that's naturally made. It is wide, it is smoother, its dimensions are more geometrically pleasing. 90-degree angles
These
and
dimensions
such.
are quite geometrically pleasing.
Okay, smart ass. The the hallway kind of spreads out before you, and it's damp down here. It's you can feel that the wash from the sea is kind of getting in and is dripping down the hallway, and the air gets trapped down here. But that seems to be the only breeze is coming from the stairwell. Beyond that, it's kind of hard to see. Let's Eb roll a perception check as soon as she's ready.
Perception, here I come. Ooh, nat 20 makes it a 28.
Wait, really? Did you say it was a nat 20?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. You see that it is a high ceiling, like hallway, and is long. Like it is massive. The amount of prisoners that are being held up at the top in their little area, are just minuscule compared to the amount of people this place could hold. From what you can tell, there aren't any immediate cells that you can see, but you can tell that there is a large amount of stuff down here. You can see up and to the right, there seems to be a faint glow from a corner that seems to be somewhere you could turn right, and then there seems to be a darker cavern going down. But for the moment, there's really nothing else except for this just long hallway.
All right. So, here's the deal. We can go down the hallway, or we can go right, which is kind of glowing, or we can go left, which just looks darker. Aldris, you're a necromancer. Where would you hang out?
Well, I don't know if we're trying to meet up with the other necromancers here. If we are, I mean, I'm up for it. Spellcasting, especially with necromancy, requires, I mean, if you're not doing it instinctually, at least, requires deft hand movements. I've practiced enough that I can do it in the dark for the most part, but I suspect most necromancers will be in a lit part of the caverns where they can ply their trade without worrying about cutting off one of their own limbs with a blade or by disintegrating it accidentally.
Smart.
That's not how I lost my arm, just for the record. A completely different situation.
Eb definitely doesn't believe that. She's beginning to think it's the same situation. Right, a friend. Happened to a friend.
I don't know anyone else who's a necromancer. Shut up. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
they only hang out where it's litty.
It's just like, it's lit, as the kids say. They only hang out in lit K.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like hopping off. Oh wait, okay. It's like groovy. Did that help? Did you understand?
400 years old.
Do we need to say it's like top shelf?
This is just
Yes,
you
I
preaching yourself.
understand.
Yeah, it is. Everyone worship the cool cat
and I might not be
and the bee god.
Am I getting any bad vibes from any directions that Eb said?
At
Bad
the moment,
dead people vibes.
At the moment, no.
Sweet. I'm way less sensitive than Eb is to those, but figured I'd give it a try.
You will notice that there is a distinct lack of quote-unquote death energy around. In fact, your magic feels a little dulled right now.
That is potentially worrying. There doesn't seem to be much energy here to exploit for necromancy, which leads me to believe that why would that be? And they start like muttering off on their own in a corner, like just saying basically nonsense.
Cool. Good input. Nice.
Why would necromancers set up in an area where they couldn't exploit the energy? There's no logical reason for it other than the prison forces them to be here, but from what we've gathered, they chose this wing as their home base, which could suggest that something more is happening here. No.
Do we even know that we're in the right wing? Like, we definitely went
extra
somewhere.
dimensional monsters. In which case, oops.
That would not be great.
Oh, okay. So I feel like we should start sneaking around, maybe. Looks pretty empty in here, though. But, like, maybe we shouldn't run into going. Well, I guess we don't want to run into the necromancer.
Some of them are fine. I don't know how many
prison
of
is
them
hard,
are actively practicing like the worst forms of necromancy, but
weren't you all against going to the necromancers because you were like, they'll kill us to reanimate our
very
corpse.
Complicated.
Blah, blah, blah.
There are a few different methods for using necromancy, and there are a few different sort of styles, essentially. I am someone who is focused on the preservation of life, but many necromancers, because it is the most ubiquitous and easily taught method, are more interested in the creation of undead, the manipulation of corpses, that kind of thing. The causing of death. So it's unlikely we'll run into many more who are like me. It's a bit of a gamble, but there's nothing to say that those people aren't equally good, other than the fact that other prisoners here seem to be absolutely terrified of them. Yes.
All right, well, cautious either way, then.
Jens, I'd like you to give me a perception check real quick.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 6.
You're. Yeah. By the way, you all don't have a lot
Lost
of
in the dim lighting.
good. You don't have your armor anymore and stuff like that. So you notice your feet are getting a little just soaked from all the seawater and things like that are coming in. Kind of have just like burlap shoes on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unpleasant. This is a great way to get athlete's foot.
Or a trench foot.
Ugh.
I'll purge biological material from our feet once we
Oof.
have them in a drier
Okay,
area.
so cool. So water. We're closer to the ocean, which means we're further down in the prison. Maybe we could find a way out through here
Perhaps.
then.
Not a bad idea.
If we could
I
get
do
to
remember
open water,
the
we would have
shark
to make
man
supplies to make
saying
it
that we should build a raft down here, I believe, which suggests this is the necromancer's quarters. Either way, it's probably not a good idea to stand where we crashed into a wall and made a loud noise. People are probably coming.
That's a good point. Maybe we head down the long hallway then, away from the light, where there are probably people.
Actually, they're.
All right.
That's the only way
Fun.
forward. You can go past it, but behind you is there's a dead end. I mean, you can go back up if you guys want.
We'll
So
just
far,
spend the rest of our time here going up and
you're-
down
you're-
the stairs.
What the fuck is that?
Leg day. Never skip leg day.
Here, wait. Can somebody speak real quick?
Hello?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, hold on. My headphones are
Hello?
acting up. Give me a second.
So then I instantly karate chop all of the cultists.
I'll be right back.
In one turn.
Oh, I unanimate the
Now they're
reanimated
still-
corpses. And then I animate them again.
I do a flying swan kick and win
Just
the
for
karate
funsies.
tournament.
Congratulations. Here's your trophy.
I've made Mr. Miyagi proud.
You've defeated
Nah.
him
Billy Zapka had
in
nothing on
single
you.
combat. You may now take his life as his honorary custom.
How I remember
Wait, you have
Karate
to-
I
Kid.
don't
Turn to the
remember
Emperor
this
now.
part in that movie.
No, you don't remember they all turn to the judges and then they bow and the judges deliberate for a little bit and then
him.
they oh.
And
That's
then the
how
Karate
Billy
Kid
Zapka
tears out his
died.
heart. No.
Yeah. You know, watch the rest of the movie. It's like the best scene.
The after credit scene.
Tearing him limb from limb.
He does the D&D monk flurry of blows and ends by tearing out his heart.
This is a awful end to the Karate Kid.
Giant KO appears and in the
Cameron, I
video game
expect you to
announcement
animate
goes
this sequence.
knockout.
All right. I got
Knockout.
some,
I mean, that's not a no.
Perfect.
It's the
All right.
correct reaction.
I got some shitty headphones on. I just got some in from Amazon, and they do not look like the picture.
John,
You're
you're
gonna
in for a
love the
treat when
Karate
this
Kid
episode
movie
is released.
discussion that we had in your absence. In the
You are in for a treat when
What?
when you listen to this bit.
What did you?
It
I don't
was
listen to the
good.
episodes because I don't give a fuck about this campaign.
I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Well,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can leave Starthorn because Jens did a flying spin
Karate-
kick and won the karate tournament.
Yeah, except the kicks were the only move that was outlawed during the beginning of that they outlawed. No, I mean, you know, in the thing they
don't be
mentioned
such
that
a
there are no
stickler.
kicks to the face, and then he wins by a kick to the
Hit
face.
him in the face. Yeah. But it's
Oh my
okay because the judges have a solution for
You're the kind of judge who would do this.
Oh, it's the worst kind.
Wait, what? I would be the kind of judge to do what? I didn't see what you did. Oh.
Boring.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like 1,000 points to Gryffindor moments where it's like the everybody clearly favored one of the kids over the others and just let him get away with cheating. It's like, wow, okay.
Well, of course, because he was the Karate Kid. If they didn't let him get away with it, he'd karate them.
Yeah, I remember when he said it's
Exactly. So
I remember when he said it was karateing time and he karateed all over them.
Right.
All right, enough of this. Are you guys going to walk down the hallway or are you going to go back up? You've had plenty of time to
Walking
discuss
down the hallway.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna listen to Eb's suggestion and try and sneak down the hallway.
Well, yes, that.
All right,
I
everybody
will also
give me a
stealth.
stealth roll.
13.
Natural 20, baby!
23.
All right. So we got that. 23, you were 19, was it, Aldris? And
No, 13.
13, okay. And then
It's
natural
fine if I
20
get
from Brayden.
found. I'm one of them. Kind of.
Well, you guys, as you kind of walk down, you all kind of start, Christ, come on. God. Give me headaches. The hallway is quiet. As you get closer to the intersection that I was talking about, there is a little bit of a thrum of energy, it sounds like, and you kind of hear a whom, whum, whum. As you get closer, or you're going to say, Rocco stops making the sound. He realizes that you're being stealth. You're being, so he's like, he goes, and he goes, to help out. Jens is one with the shadow. He even shows a thing or two about how to sneak. Aldris is just kind of following.
Walking normally, like splashing in every puddle.
And Ev is having a cool like pretend you're a secret spy with your friend at like lunchtime when you're in the you're 6 kind of a thing.
I was really into it. She's like somersaulting. Bouncing off the walls, doing all the fancy
it's quite a
moves.
sight.
Pulling ice picks out of the ether and like climbing up the walls.
As you get closer to the intersection.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Spider-Man.
She's never
going to
use that
ceiling.
power again, but just is so into it. She just
Head turns around 360 degrees, vomits everywhere.
Speak Latin. Oh wait,
Latin's not on your character sheet. Eb can't speak.
Eb can only read Latin.
Eb can't speak any language.
I can't wait until that's. You know, what I'm going to do to torture you guys
Latin.
one time is I'm going to write something in Latin in universe. It's like a super big secret. I'm going to post it and I'll be like, "Oh, the anthropologist Atham should know this." And I'll be like, translate it correctly, and he's going to use like Google Translate, and Reese will be like, "No, there's some subtleties is missing. It's not the Gothic, Middle Ages Latin. It's the classic Roman Latin. No, you fool, Atham."
You fool! You didn't use the digamma. Psych, digamma is only in Greek, not in
I don't know
Latin.
what the fuck's going on anymore. The other thing would be then is that as you get closer, you notice that there is another kind of more warm orange light spreading out from there as well, as along with a bluish light that is faintly glowing from the edge, or you can see from the edge. Would you guys like to peek around the corner?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious.
Okay.
I'll peek around the corner.
So as you do, you see a massive stone door, etched with a lot of runes and different scenes, but the main one on there is of a tree that holds cages of a bunch of different creatures and stars over them. It's kind of looks like the image just popped in my head. I wasn't even thinking this before, but if you've ever, the Lord of the Rings again, those things in I think Gondor, where it's got like the tree carved into the granite on the wall, sort of a thing like that. It's that kind of art style. And it's just a large glowing rune in this giant stone door, like 30, 40, 50 feet maybe. And it's glowing blue in the artwork, so that's glowing inside of it. You can see besides that there's a couple torches lit, and then below it are two what looks to be guards guarding the door. But these guys look a little serious. And in fact, I'd like Eb to roll me an insight or history check.
I'll go with history. 6.
You feel like you've seen them somewhere before. That's
The
about it.
guards?
The guards, but not exactly like them, but like their style, their essence, something like that. I mean, if you guys want to take a look at them, you can too. I don't think Jens might know something about it. Aldris, I don't think would have at all.
Roll a history check.
All right, give me a check. DC. It's gonna be DC 19 for you because you weren't there during the campaign.
Okay, baby, I can do that. I rolled a 12.
What's your history? Shouldn't it be high considering you are a
I rolled a 2 on the
anthropologist?
dice, and I added 10.
Oh, oh boy.
My history is very high.
You don't know what these are at the moment. They just seem like they're scratching something in the back of your head, but and you feel like you don't like them for some reason. But for the most part, all three of you can see that these guys seem more serious than the mooks that are usually patrolling the catwalks on the normal, like where you could see them in the cafeteria. They're taller, they're bigger, they've got heavier equipment, but that's really all you can tell for the moment. They don't seem to be paying attention. They could potentially see your heads just because you're 3 orbs popping out from a corner, but they don't make any move to go after you or anything like that. They seem pretty content with what they're doing.
This screams extremely bad news. If I had to hazard a guess, this is definitely the celestial thing.
Yeah, I think we've definitely stumbled into the shitter.
I feel like I know those guys
I mean,
from
we
somewhere.
could ask.
You could.
I know them.
I will, by the way, as a side thing, before you guys make any decisions, just so you know, this is like another corner where you can keep going straight if you would like, past this big hallway that's going to the right. The only obviously thing in this hallway that is now at the corner that you guys are looking past is just this giant ass door and the 2 guards.
It's a pretty cool door, though. It's a big door.
There's no way that number of runes contains anything but very bad news. I'm proud of you for making that decision. I know it took restraint.
So we have to.
Aldris, I mean, you could go up and ask these guys.
You know what? I will. I have a get out of death free card.
Yeah, one a day. Everybody gets one.
I cast it on myself. Yeah, I'll go up to them. I'll go. So this is the do not go here bad place, correct?
So as you get closer, when you get about 20 or 30-ish feet from the door, and you, I guess, salute them or say salutations, whatever, they're gonna point their lances at you and they're gonna say, "Halt!"
Yeah, okay.
Stop, prisoner.
I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna hold hands up so they can see I'm not doing anything with them.
They say, "This area is off limits."
It's the really bad part, right?
specify.
Like full of demons and other kind of extra dimensional entities.
Entrance protocol states only those with clearance level 3 cards may enter.
So yes, I'm leaving now. I'm going to turn and walk away.
After you turn around, they also say, and must be accompanied by no fewer than 3 clerics of canon, 3 ciphers, or an equivalent king killer, and 5 NG knights.
Crazy. Bye.
So yeah, they don't make any move to follow you. And at the mention of that name, Eb, you remember that an NG knight was something that showed up in the village back in Tempelon alongside the Erosian diplomat. So these guys are more physical fighters, augmented with stuff. These ones seem to be very, very augmented to the point where they seem a little robotic almost, but they're not the same as a king killer. And I'll give me a quick insight check again. Just one more.
Oh man.
21.
All right, 21. So yes, you're able to feel that when you were getting close, it kind of felt like you couldn't hear or see any of the normal energies that you were feeling. It wasn't just deadened, but like it was almost completely gone by that point. And you felt that you lost that innate connection to life energy that you had for a moment. Like it was sealed off almost the closer you got to the door.
Oh God.
And it returns a little bit as you get back. But right now, you definitely still feel a little bit weakened for the moment.
So to anyone listening, and I'm walking towards the other two, in case, that's the really bad place we don't go to. Just in case there's anyone else here.
Ricky immediately sprints past you guys saying, "Ricky Jenkins!" and runs right into the door and explodes.
He was so young.
Glorious.
A bunch of alarms start going off, and then it gets sworn. No, I'm just joking.
Actually,
that would not be the best case scenario, even if Ricky died, and you would enjoy that. Come on, wait! Ricky was supposed to be loved by the party. You're telling me nobody loves poor old Ricky?
I feel for Ricky.
I feel a deep animosity for Ricky is what I mean by that.
I do feel for Ricky. I
don't feel for Ricky.
Cringe.
I just don't care for him.
My God, Jens, you scoundrel. Ricky's our homeboy.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Him that way.
I don't give a damn about Ricky.
I fought him through. This group's really tearing itself apart.
We can't find it in our hearts
it's
to
really,
love Ricky.
It's really rough out here.
We find it in our hearts to love
lots of other people.
If we don't love Ricky, Ricky won't love us.
Ricky really does like you guys, just so you know. He does care about you guys. But yeah, so well, continue to discuss amongst yourselves. I'm sorry for interrupting.
So obviously we can't go into there,
okay. No. I say we keep going. I think the guards didn't really. We have to walk past them.
If we don't go over there, I don't think they.
But they didn't really
care at all.
So long as we don't try and get in.
Certain royals have guards like that outside their palaces. They just stand there, and you can go ooh, 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 with your hand in front of their face, and they don't react at all.
I'm going to do exactly that as we walk by.
Ebpisode's doing it to her own face. Ooh, whoa.
Well, okay, let's give it a shot then.
Give me a performance check real quick, Ab.
If you fail, you die.
Okay.
You completely 11. Mess up and smack your face.
Oh. Yes, serious. Let's go. My face.
All right, so you guys continue down the hallway then?
Yeah.
All right. So the guards, you guys pass. Oh, so you pass by, and you all kind of have a feeling as you cross kind of the midpoint threshold from that hallway to the next. Jens, you feel a swirling around you of black smoke, and you smell your home for a second. It smells like the swamp gases of home. And you see for what looks like a second a woman dressed in a black kind of grieving outfit, traditional grieving outfit from your culture, um, carrying what looks to be some kind of scythe. And she seems to be beckoning you for a moment. And you blink and it's gone.
Not this shit again.
Eb, you for a second are able to feel something clawing at your back. It almost feels like. As you turn around to look at it, you see a great beast with the head of a snake, and the body of an eagle, and the tails of an ox. That calls to you, and it spits out what looks to be an egg in front of you, and the egg starts to crack. And before the egg finishes cracking, you turn away. You look down again, and you just see that it looks like it's that beast, but with your head on it instead. And then it disappears into dust. Aldris, you hear in your head, "See, you've already known divinity in this mind." Stars can free you. And then it goes silent. And the visions pass. You feel back to normal, but for a second everything feels cold, and the air seems to take on a bluish hue. But then you're back. You're warmer again, and everything looks to be in the same brownish red from a flickering torchlight, with a little bit of a black light of blue from the door.
I really don't like this prison.
I didn't like that. I did not like
We should
that.
leave.
All right.
Let's keep going.
You guys walk down for a little bit. It's still a little bit dark. I have to write something real quick, so why don't you have a bit of banter while I do that?
I've been in a lot of tunnels. This one is probably one of the worst. Really unpleasant.
I do not like this tunnel. Normally I like digging in the ground, but this
Yeah.
tunnel is bad.
It really
No,
I'm gonna
It's
be
just
honest.
spooky.
I've been in worse tunnels, but I do not like the big door.
Yeah, me neither.
Also, very much not a fan of the thing whispering and
But,
trying
like-
to get me to like worship stars. Not my jam.
Well, I don't know what that last bit was, but I am not a fan of Grim Reapers and whatnot, particularly culturally sensitive ones.
Yeah.
I think we may have all been seeing different things.
I don't know.
I would have, if it had only been your vision, I would have imagined it was some sort of spirit of death, but considering that my vision was neither comforting nor solemn, I highly doubt that.
No, mine was not good. Not good at all.
What happened?
I don't know, there was some type of beast, and then it gave birth, I guess, to a smaller beast, but it was me, and I didn't like it, and it had too many tails.
You'll have to ask the.
It's just wrong.
I don't know. I don't know enough about your culture to tell you who to ask. But it seems like, for at least you two, things were culturally relevant.
Yes. Do you think the
Yeah,
magic
I
is perhaps
guess.
drawing on our past?
Like, it's likely. It's probably some form of illusion magic, or some being that seeks to toy with your memories, your emotions. Classic sort of tactic from both schools, to be honest.
You guys are talking about your feelings. I'm so
Interesting.
proud. Finally, people are explaining their experiences to each other instead of just getting silent about it and then forgetting about it. It becomes no longer relevant like 50 sessions later. Which I will say, I was considering having. It would be really funny if you all turned into Atham briefly. Have that be
worse than death.
Death, I know, yeah. I thought that would have been really funny. But Aldris, I want, because you might have known this, or you might be able to, just kind of a crapshoot. Give me a history check. What is your plus to history?
I'm not proficient in it, so it's just int.
Which is +5 for you?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, so it's going to be a DC 23 for you.
That is a 7.
Yeah, no, you have
This
no...
one's going in jail.
I'm going in jail. Yeah, so then you guys are able to move on from there. Although please continue talking if you guys want to keep talking about your experiences.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, so you guys didn't see the scary
No, I suspect that the
monster me?
thing, the entity or spell, was less capable of entering my mind, considering it said that I've already seen divinity. To be fully candid, the only thing that's ever been in my mind is a demon. Dealt with that, long story.
All right.
I do not trust this voice.
I also don't trust it.
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
Either way, I propose if we hear any more strange voices, we don't listen to them.
Yes, agreed.
Don't listen to strange voices. Alright. Wow, you guys are teaching me so much.
Your education is in shambles, and I am truly sorry for that. I will do what I can.
What's this sorry you speak of?
Essentially, when you feel bad for another,
I'm just walking.
empathy.
I'm just walking away.
I'm gonna follow and say this.
Jeez.
What is with you and
so
apologies,
annoying?
man? I don't understand this part of M at all.
Never apologized.
Just dabs on anyone trying to help her.
If apologies aren't your thing, why don't we get started on talking about manipulating necrotic energy?
Yeah, okay.
So there are essentially 3 methods. For you, there is one method, because I do not condone using the other 2. The least ethical method, which I will tell you about so that you can avoid it, is one can gather life essence and gather necrotic energy from a populace by infecting them with some sort of magical plague. The other method that I suggest you don't use, at least until you have a better grasp of your power, is you can burn your own life force to cast. This is difficult. It takes a long time, and it can be very dangerous. The third method, and the one which you have been using intuitively, very impressive by the way, is to contact spirits and ask for their help. You give them something, and in exchange they offer their power and help you. For instance, one of the things I do is often when I make a contract with a spirit, when I ask for its aid, I carry its story with me. I tell it to others. I let them learn about how it died or what it was in life. And that's generally enough for them, though sometimes you have to do more. Get revenge, live your own life peacefully. Several spirits have several different requirements, and for the most part, they're fairly benign. Any questions?
No.
That's not the face of someone who has no questions.
Mm. Well, I think I get it. But I was just infecting a whole town with a plague. Would the plague be like a noticeable sickness?
Oh, yes.
Like-
Even if you strive to create a sickness that's not noticeable, the fact is that you've infused a highly mutative entity with magic, which will cause it to change faster. It will likely cause severe symptoms.
Does it seem like a regular cold, or
Maybe at first, but
a high death rate?
oh yes, almost assuredly. It's why I don't want anyone who uses necromancy to use that method. It's cruel and unusual.
So let's say I came across a town that do most people use that method? Do you think most necromancers?
I think yes. It's the easiest method, and it is the method that lets you harm people who you feel have harmed you the most. And so you tend to hear yes. It's the loudest. It's the most destructive. No one writes about necromancers who burn themselves up to help others, or who help spirits pass on, or carry them with them. You hear about the horrors, and so many necromancers only learn this method or feel boxed into it.
Okay. Continue. Go on. I get it.
When we use necrotic energy, we are taking the life force of a person who has passed and essentially enacting a final will upon the world. We are taking their power and we are using it to do what they could not, or to protect those they care for. This does not always mean you burn up the soul that you use. For the most part, you unburden them, and then they pass on to whatever place they pass on to. I know that here isn't quite as kind to the dead as my world was, but I at the very least, doing something that they wished they could do in life is a good way to get going. I believe, at least.
Okay. So, why do you think? Is it just because it's easier? So many people go for the other way in necrotic magic.
It's easier.
Or is it just because people go to necromancy because they want fame and accolades, or is it?
I don't know. For me, it was a natural progression of my medical career. But others, I believe that most people, when they start to learn magic, do it to try and help. It's just that it's much easier to, and it's much less taxing on yourself to offload the burden onto other people. It's much faster initially, so I think people fall into the trap of using it. I think that on top of that, the people who get into it because they feel they were wronged want a method that will harm those who have wronged them. And so they use plagues.
Eb's been given a lot to think about. She goes silent for a bit. She's just kind of thinking.
Jens, I want you to think about in your mythology, how is death usually dealt with?
Well, death is pretty permanent in Jens's culture, because it's seen as sort of the great, the ultimate fusion with the world. You when you're born, you are taken out of balance with everything to live life, and then when you pass on, you go back. You go back to the great being of everything. You are back into balance with the world. And so that's why they don't really like necromancers all that much. It's sort of seen as an unnatural. It's a pretty unnatural. Sacrilegious is probably a bit too strong of a word because there's no like code or anything like that. But it's very taboo, very unnatural for Jens. And so he's a little bit put off by this conversation. But at the same time, it is also interesting because he's never heard of anyone talking about necromancy like this before.
In a very scientific manner, yeah.
Which, yeah, he can appreciate to some extent.
Yes, academic to academic. I mean, Aldris and Jens, it's probably the first person of a similar age of, maybe different fields, but being such highly educated gentlemen. It's probably been the first time you guys have had a chance to I guess, be in a situation like this. I mean, Jens, in your adventures, sometimes you are with other anthropologists and other academics and whatnot, but most of them are not quite as accomplished when it comes to the danger side of things as you are, given that you come from a warrior tribe who became an academic, which is quite of a rare background. A lot of them are just bookworms who were bookworms from the beginning and then stayed bookworms. So yeah, Aldris is the first guy you've seen in a while who can hold his own in a fight, maybe. Although not that you've seen that yet.
No, you have not seen that. You've seen me get absolutely bodied and put people to sleep.
Well, I didn't see that.
And get ridden like a surfboard.
Yeah, we're gonna get technical with you.
Sounded cool as fuck, though.
I don't know why I'm getting
Chucks.
I'm splitting hairs over words with you, Reese. You're usually the one who's least like that, except when it comes to like crab walking. Everything else.
Don't bring crab walking to me.
We're not going to get into this
wrong.
one again, but yeah, guys. Just as a reference, don't bring up crab walking. It's a sore subject. So, is there anything, Jens?
Can you crab walk?
What?
Hey, Aldris, can you crab walk?
God, I
mean, I can't everybody?
No, Sean just
that's
doesn't understand what crab walking is.
Oh my god.
You walk sideways.
No, that is not what happened.
Exactly, you walk sideways.
You are misrepresenting what happened, and I will not stand for it. We are moving on. Jens, do you have anything to add to the conversation out loud? Or would you like to keep quiet?
Jens is as interesting as it is, he's still quite uncomfortable for him.
You coward.
I will add quickly. It slipped my mind. Though your power is slightly different. It's different than mine. Not slightly. It's quite different. Still works with the same power. Cultural background will often shape, as with any spell, cultural background will shape the way your necromancy works. If you are a necromancer, if you use necrotic energy.
Oh yeah, that does bring up a point. I want to ignore the melons.
Melons.
Give me an insider history check, Eb.
KK.
Oh boy!
Very-
All right. Well, I was going to say Eb has had a lot of history, personal history, I guess, being brought up recently, cultural history specifically. So when he says that, I want you to just kind of be real quick. By the way, Max, I want to ask: does Aldris identify as a male? I forget if I asked this before or not, because you've said they, them. I feel like for Aldris a couple times, so I just want to confirm.
I think he, him, they, them works for them. They
Either
don't care.
or. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just want to be respectful. So after they say that, what does anything come to Eb's mind in regards to like her, ethnic or national cultural history?
I feel like Eb's first thought is just like, she doesn't remember anything about her history. Like, she knows a little bit from the book she had from her aunt. She's thinking about that story that Nissy Nelly read / told her about, and then what she learned in the library that one time. But damn, that means that Eb looks at Aldris and just says, like, what if I don't know a lot about my history?
Then your power is often informed by those close to you, the experiences you've had, and in some ways, the lack of a history can also inform it. Just because you don't have connections to a wider culture does not mean you don't have your own story, and that story is the most important part of spellcasting. It's the part of you that you impart on the world through your power.
Eb is feeling so uplifted. Just kind of like, yeah, okay. Okay. Keep striding down the tunnel.
Striding. Yeah. Then
See me roll.
So, you guys, let's see, where would you, in this thing, you just went straight, there's no other option. You're going to come upon a large kind of open gateway that is going to have a few cells, from what you can see beyond it, that seem to be empty and mostly open. On the top, it says Block 3 in a kind of metal, not casing, but like template. And just above it, it's all like a lot of it's rusted. There's still some water leaking in here and there, dripping down from behind you. All of the cells seem to be in disuse. And that's pretty much it. It looks like it's quiet. It's dark. None of the torches are lit.
Well, I think we found the necromancers.
Indeed.
Who wants to go first?
I think it's prudent if I go first. I will.
So we're just gonna walk in.
I mean, I will.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna step forwards once more into the breach.
Pretty badass.
No, I don't say that in real life or
In game.
Yeah. That's too cool for Aldris.
Too lame to say that
Aldris
in
is
game.
a nerd.
You know what? Roll for deception.
Roll for one-liner. Roll performance.
Yeah, roll performance. Actually, roll performance. Yeah.
Oh no.
Ooh,
I think that's just a straight 11. I don't think I have charisma.
Damn it! If I was gonna say if you got high, I was going to make it so you said it, but unfortunately I can't do that. You rolled low, so
Yeah,
you're fine. You get to be lame like you want. You son of a bitch. So
what is the use of being a DM if you can't abuse your powers for moments like that?
well, the entire point of my objective here is that I've always wanted to do this. Is I'm getting you guys to care about the campaign. I'm putting in a lot of effort, and then at one point, I'm just going to completely bring that hammer down and smash everything, and kill off maybe not everyone in the party, but
Break our spirits?
I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to leave, and I'm going to keep saying that there's going to be a session next week, but I'm going to cancel at the last minute every time, and just leave it on that terrible cliffhanger where everyone, 90% of the people you know and care about are dead. So I'm abusing my power, trust me, just in the long term. I really shouldn't be saying this when Cameron's in the call. He's gonna go fucking ape shit and and have a million contingency plans not to let me do that, but
So true.
yeah, I really shouldn't have said that around him. This is not good. I've been trying to get him down from being neurotic about my potentially killing you guys. Shut up, Max. Me at the end, the lich comes out of nowhere and kills you. No.
I come back. I have Revivify.
I will mention, that reminds me. So you do feel like your magic is mostly back now.
Okay.
No noticeable differences. Let's see here. Sorry, I just had to put that in the chat real quick.
Yeah. That's a fair thing to place.
Thank you. I guess give me an investigation check if you were looking around this place. Are you? You mean it's you go in? It seems similar to where
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look around.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god, I'm proficient in this. Oh. 23.
Oh boy. Does anybody else want to do anything?
I don't know.
All right. Well, no one else is being decisive. I'll just give this to Aldris then. Aldris, you know what's on the sides of the cell? Okay. Well, first, here, let me do it like this. You walk in. It's quiet. There are long corridors and it starts to be broken up, kind of maze-like. And you notice that it's similar to how your block is set up. It looks like where there's a bunch of holding cells, broken off by hallways and other walls. A few of them are side by side or across from each other, but it seems very close to what you're used to, just kind of more condensed. It seems this is for holding more groups of people. It's in disrepair. A lot of the toilets and sinks are broken, smashed with their granite, and the water is just flowing out and going on the floor. The walls have some growth on them, but it's sickly. And a lot of it's dead. And that's the other thing you notice. Along the walls where a lot of the thorns and vines usually grow, they're just decayed and shriveled up vines that for the most part are not doing their job. None of them are responding. There was still some vines along the way, but there was much less around the celestial door and the rest of the entrance where you guys were going down from. They weren't very active. The other parts of the cells in back where you came from, there was vines everywhere. There's a lot of them. It was very sparse the further you went down. And then has now become decayed, almost like, when you overcook asparagus and it's all just kind of blackened and sunken, Well, I'm sorry if you guys don't eat asparagus, but that's a very good analogy, I'll be honest. It looks quite accurate. Sickly and shrunken. It's all of its juices, poured out. What are you giggling at? I'm right. Whatever. The audiences will vindicate me. Everyone get in the comments and tell them that it was a good metaphor. Or I guess it was a simile since I used like. Anyway. Wait, hold on. It was overcooked. All right. This is the closest I could get. Cucumber. I don't have asparagus on the emojis. You guys need to get more vegetables in your diet. Anyway, so that aside, that's pretty much it. And you notice that there is a hallway that looks like it's going down to the other parts of the wing, of the block, whatever. As you kind of go a little bit deeper down, that's pretty much what I'll say for the moment.
Okay.
I guess Eb goes to follow, but like at a distance,
Likewise.
Okay.
stealthily.
Do I have anything? No, I don't. Not really. None of this will help. I can cause fear, which won't affect Eb, but
Haha.
okay. I'm just gonna keep walking forwards.
How are you gonna? Are you going to? Wait. So sorry. Were you thinking about doing something you want to tell me about, or do you?
I was seeing if I could cast a spell that would create light, but I don't have that, which is a cantrip.
You do. There is the light still going on in Jens's pocket.
That's
I don't know if
true.
he's taking Rocco out, but you do hear him.
Well, isn't Eb holding Rocco?
I thought you cast. I don't know who was carrying him. You didn't. None of you specified.
Rocco is my sentient rock, but Eb is holding on to him.
Yeah, Rocco's definitely on Eb's shoulder. Rocco's sitting on the top of Eb's head.
The comforting hum of Rocco is quite helpful.
Yes, it is. It is. Quite. It has become very massaging as well to Eb's scalp as he's vibrating a little bit as he does. He goes.
When Eb talks a little bit, her voice comes out like this way.
I understand an aesthetic and they're looking around, but just because you're a necromancer does not mean you need to live in squalor like this. This is just gross. I mean, look at all this stagnant water. This can't be healthy.
Oh my god. So judgy. Eb is splashing in puddles, but stealthily.
I'm judgy when these people can't even who smashes a sink? Why? It's a sink.
Yeah, who doesn't want a clean bathroom?
This prison is already terrible enough. Why do you have to make it worse?
Real good points. Really good points.
Coming at him, man. Coming for this guy's interior decorator.
I'm allowed to be judgy.
As you guys get closer, you do start to hear shuffling going on in the other hallways. Just
all right, everyone. Corpse watch. Get in the circle. Back to back.
Ooh. This is pretty fun for Eb. She sidles up in between the two of them.
Fighting time.
Not necessarily fighting, just we don't want to. One or two isn't a problem. It's when they surround you that it gets to be an issue.
So we'll just take them all out. It's fine.
That's not what I was saying, but okay.
Yeah, see, we'll just take them out.
Rattle them,
Yeah.
boys!
Me and my
We get
dogs
gunned
are on
down
it.
by the Tommy gun skeletons.
You just hear faintly. It's Tony Calcium says hello.
Cricket.
Oh, here, I'll be right back.
Oh shit. 400 living corpses pour out of the walls.
Up the creek without a DM.
Oh god. Okay, who would be first DM once if Sean never returns?
Slut Craig.
Yeah.
Slut
Come on,
Craig.
Slut Craig. Start telling us the story.
We're
Yeah.
lost.
Slut Craig, please.
He's not saying anything. Slut Craig.
Slut Craig, what is the character doing?
Describe our environment.
Where
please.
am I? I'm falling through blackness.
What does the room look like around me?
How many goblin scimitars can I loot?
Slut Craig, please.
Slut Craig is not a very good
Horrible
DM.
DM. Yeah, I don't trust Slut Craig.
Listen, it's their first time.
Well, this is truly tragic. Really without a DM, aren't we? Oh, he's back. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, we're
Okay.
saved.
Thank goodness. I can stop falling through the inky blackness of eternity and actually know what room I'm standing in.
Finally, I can look around and see my surroundings.
What? What are you guys talking about? I just.
You wouldn't understand.
All right.
Yeah, you should.
Just have to listen to
I
the
want
episode.
Craig to be the DM again.
Is Craig that these? You guys are trying to ask Craig stuff?
We'll
he wasn't
never look
giving-
at Craig as the DM.
Let's see. Gotta grab my dice. I have to be physical now. All right. So, you are not in inky blackness. Rejoice for that much. You guys are back to back. I believe at least that's what you were saying before I left. What else? Yeah, I guess just so you're moving along the hallway. Do you have any other light abilities that you want to use? You're right now in a 10-foot cone, or bubble. And Eb has dark vision, which I think I'm going to say that I don't know exactly how dark vision works. It's been a while since I've read it, but I don't know if you can use it while somebody's also using a light near you, because I feel like that would be kind of counterintuitive, or at least. Let me look it up real
Dark
quick.
vision has a range, right?
It does have a range, but I'm wondering if it's something where you have to be, like, if it goes from dark to light or light to dark, if that causes a problem. Well, at least the spell, it's showing that duration, the creature has dark vision out to a range of 60 feet.
I can see in dim light within 60 feet as if it was bright light, and darkness as if it were dim light. So it just looks normally bright and then dim.
Okay, yeah, that's right, and then still dim light still sucks. For the two that don't have dark vision. So this is still quite a dangerous situation, I will say. So you guys kind of move along. You're going through a corridor that's a little bit more narrow than where you would come in, where the other ones were giant kind of highways to get to the individual wings of where you are. You're now kind of in the back streets that are for 2 or 3 people at most. If you were bigger, then it would be, even less. So it's a bit cramped feeling in here. You're moving through, and you're kind of going through these catacombs. Are you trying to look for anything in particular, or are you just following the ways forward, because it's going to start branching pretty soon?
I'm gonna try looking for like marks in the walls that would be used by the people who live here as like come this way signs, basically, that were set up so that we can figure out where we're supposed to go. I'm also going to be looking for, I guess, not looking for, but looking out, like just worst case scenario. A big room with a whole bunch of exits from it. Not a great place to be, because that tends to be a place where undead will coalesce from every side. So I'm just, whenever we're in somewhere like that, I'm going to try and be extra on guard.
I don't know if I can DM anymore. I'm uncomfortable, just for no reason really. Just mentioning it real quick. Yeah, but good session, guys. We'll pick it up next week.
That's okay. Craig will DM.
Yeah, Craig can DM.
Yeah, Craig can keep being our DM. Craig does it pretty well.
What do I roll?
Craig, where am I? It's dark everywhere. Craig, you sound
3.
different.
It was that easy. Whoa.
Between this and the karate tournament, they have to let us out now.
Aldris, you win. You won Cyril as your bride. Dun dun dun.
I don't want this.
You're gonna get Cyril, and you're gonna like it.
Oh man.
That's escalated quickly.
Listen, listen. If Cyril, you know, and I'll accept Cyril as my self-insert if I can get out of the relationship with Zin. That's what really scares me. Is I can't. I don't. And I'll marry whoever else if it just doesn't. It can't be Cyril or even Zin. Please, he's gonna beat me. He'll be like, "You didn't warm up the chicken nuggets right," and then start beating my ass. So where's my Mountain Dew? My Mountain Dew. Wait a minute. Are you referencing a Demolition D video? All right. Might be. All right. Anyway, we'll move on here. Okay. I think is that who? Yeah. Wait. Whose mic is that?
Definitely Soph's.
I think it's so.
All right. Soph, mute yourself. It was Soph. Oh my god! Look at that. I was great in actually for one, or for like always, but no.
I turned on push to talk just for you.
Thanks, baby. All right. So, there's going to be you're trying to find signs that people would use to navigate in this underscape sort of a place. Give me a survival check. Anybody can help if they have a reasonable way to assist Aldris in this endeavor.
19.
Okay, that's pretty good. So, with that, there doesn't seem to be any markings for the most part, but you do notice that there are kind of marks of wear and tear, like things are being dragged, footfalls that are more used to certain passageways, water that's been disturbed, rather than just kind of pooling in one area, things of that nature. So, you are able to tell that there seems to be two different directions that are important from that. I won't tell you exactly which way you're trying to find or what they mean necessarily, but you kind of get to this little juncture and you can tell that there seems to be going deeper into the catacombs or prison, we'll call them prison catacombs. And one seems to be going back toward another cell. You can kind of decide which way you would go.
Well, there are two places that have more wear and tear in general from use. We can head towards a cell somewhere nearby, or we can head deeper into the catacombs. Your call, considering I'm the one in least danger here.
what do you think we could find in the cell? Could we find anything there?
We might find a person. The worrying possibility is we will also find the corpse pit, which would just be an unfortunate smell and sight for the kid.
Well, me too. It would also be unfortunate for me as well, and I hope you as well.
I've dealt with a lot.
All right, fair. Okay, well, we're not going to explore.
I'm a doctor. I've seen dead bodies.
Okay. Well,
I've seen dead
I
bodies.
say we go
You shouldn't
deeper
have.
into the catacombs.
That's very sad.
Yeah, Jens, let's go.
All right. No hesitation here. Let's just keep diving. The bigger the ruin, the cooler the treasure at the bottom.
Okay, so are we gonna go deeper then instead of to the cell, or are we going to the cell? I don't know.
Eb didn't have a direction she was going.
Good.
Why don't we head to the cell first? Just because that seems like it's probably a more manageable. Like less people are going to be in a cell than in a deep part of the ruin, if there are people.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Eb turns mid-step and is like, "This is because I want to go this way." Starts going towards the cell.
I'll follow you.
I'm gonna lean over to Jens. Do you know who was like making her see corpses when she was younger? That's messed up, right? That's not just me.
I'm going to be honest. I assumed that was a pretty common thing. You know, childhood and corpses. At least it was for me.
I mean, that's horrible.
Here, by the way, as a
It's
side
cultural.
note,
What do you want from us?
I mean, no, there's a difference between like a burial or seeing death and being exposed to several corpses.
I mean, it's quite common in my culture. We start fighting at quite a young age. They have us, making corpses pretty early on.
Maybe it's just an aspect of my culture then.
Yeah,
I fully accept that as a possibility.
I mean, good for you for not having corpses in your childhood. I'm sure it's probably better for you in the long run, psychologically speaking, but
well, yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the person. I'm sure there are some people who are unaffected by that.
maybe we can unpack this at a later date. I say we keep exploring and hopefully not find a corpse pit.
Eb is very far ahead at this point.
Oh God, no!
Starts jogging. Jens starts jogging to catch up.
Rolling it now. So
I fall down another set of stairs.
With that, you guys are going to head down that hallway. You start to hear more of a grinding, like as from behind you, but for the moment it sounds distant. You go around a corner and you get to a cell, and it smells musky. It doesn't smell like rot, but as you look in through the bars, the door is open, so you can also look through the door. You see a massive pile of bones of a bunch of different kinds, just kind of laying there in a pile, in no particular order, and they all seem to be mixed and mashed. Pretty good shape. None of them seem to be snapped or broken. None decaying quite so fast, but definitely, cleansed of any sort of fleshy bits. Just sitting there doing nothing. Yeah.
Well, this sucks.
Ebba
There's
goes
like
to
a
look at bones.
60% chance these jump up and come for us the minute we turn around. Gonna be completely honest with you two.
Ebba doesn't go look at the bones.
I mean, I'm happy to. If you want to come with, it would be
What
a
if
very
we just
educational
closed
experience.
the cell door and then left?
Yeah, but why are there so many bones here? Whose
Can
bones are
I
here?
see what
Next comment.
processes have been done to the bones? Like if anything has been, like if they've been bleached, if they've been properly like stripped of flesh, or whether it's just been from natural decay, whether there's runes carved into them, stuff like that.
Yes, you can, if you would like.
Investigate the bones.
What should I roll?
Oh, yes, sorry. You can roll Arcana, or you can roll Investigate.
Well, I have proficiency in both. That is 17.
Which one did you roll? If I can know?
Arcana.
Okay, so you go over to them. You see that, for the most part, the bones seem to have been cleaned properly, not just made from decay. They've been bleached. And they haven't exactly been carved into, but as you get closer, you notice that the bones, after a lot of their bleaching, there seems to be some coloring added to them. Some of them seem to have been kind of like dipped in dye to be made a completely different color. Some of them seem to have been painted on, and then some of them have quite elaborate paintings on them, depicting, flowers, feathers, masks. Some are made to look kind of more like the person might have been when they were alive. Some of them look like beasts. Just kind of a lot of different sort of designs for different purposes, it looks like. All mixed and mangled into each other. And it's just actually, as you get closer in the dim light, you can see that it is a very, very colorful pile.
This is actually pretty interesting. It seems to be some sort of art piece. I'm not seeing anything inherently magical. If you would like to take a closer look, it might have cultural implications for one of you two.
Yeah, I'll
Not
take
sure.
a closer look.
Yeah, Eb goes to take a peek at this. Sounds pretty cool. And roll.
Mm-hmm. You both want to take a
Roll 3 death saves.
as soon as
Oh,
you
no.
get in, the door slams and you all die. No. It's very tempting. I'm sure as Max can relate, every time you got a chance. But what do you guys want to look for specifically? Because I'll let you say that you can immediately see what Max Aldris just saw, because he's pointing it out to you a little bit. Is there anything particular you want to find beyond that, or you just want to look through the bones? I mean, you can make any comments or whatnot about what I just said freely. You don't have to roll for that.
I think I'd be looking for any particular designs, markings that are maybe familiar to Jens from either academia or from his own culture, that sort of thing.
From your culture, interesting. Eb, anything for you before I go on to Mr. Jens here?
I'm thinking along the same lines. Eb doesn't know what, but she knows she'll know it when she sees it. Type
Are any of
situations.
these
Kind of just looking at everything.
beast pictures? Are any of these beast pictures the beast you saw?
Oh yeah, I look for the beast I saw.
No, I'll tell you that much. But give me an investigation check. Why not?
Ooh.
Me too.
14.
14. Okay. You do not see that one, but you actually see something very peculiar. You pick up a skull, and on it is a scene depicting a
Wait, am I holding it like Hamlet style?
Yes, in fact, you quite are. You are very much so. Like almost the skull is inspiring you to playwright. With that being said, you notice on the skull is a scene depicting someone being dragged into water, deep by a bunch of tentacles.
On a monster? I mean, on the skull?
Yes, so the skull itself is depicting this entire scene. It's kind of like a fresco on the back of this bleached skull.
Oof. I does not know what to make of that. She can't remember ever seeing giant tentacles out of the water. She does not like it because I do not like it. It's like that one scene from Lord of the Rings, and I don't like it.
Roll me insight check real quick.
13.
This person looks like a fisherman.
Fisherman getting pulled into the ocean.
We're going to move over to Jens real quick. Jens, I want you to describe to me. Well, okay, real quick, Jens, how do you feel about doing a little bit of improv right now? Or, you know what? Actually, this would be something that is possible right now. Roll me an investigate check if you still want to look through something for your related to your
Yeah.
what's it called?
Yeah, my own culture. I rolled a 28.
20. Oh wow, okay. So you are able to find a full series of skeleton parts making up a full corpse. Seems to have been a dragonborn of some kind. And along their body is a beautifully decorated scene depicting of. Wait, no, that can't be right. It's depicting your battle, the one that you had 15 years ago. It's a little bit dramatized from what you can tell from your anthropology, work. You can tell that some things have been made metaphorical, such as there seems to be a scene implying that you've traded your eye, losing your eye, getting it bashed in, traded it for knowledge, and that afterwards using the knowledge to become a scholar. The defense of the enemy tribe being demons rather than actual people, just from another tribe who were encouraged to do that. The twin characters that are representative and finding their own saga of Torgold Senior and Junior, and which, by the way, given the naming conventions, just so you know, the fact that you also named Torgold Senior Torgold means that the current Torgold is called Torgold's son. So we've had a couple of those now, and I feel bad because I should have been better about that, but that's my fault, I guess. Given the naming convention. So the scene kind of dramatizes all of that, and you're able to get that from all of the bones.
What the hell? Guys, I've found my life story on a bone.
That's very impressive. Congratulations on being heard so far and wide.
I don't
What
understand why.
This is a bad one. Ooh.
I've never seen anything like this. Do I recognize? Is the depiction, the art, is it in a style I recognize, or is there any clues about where it might have come from or how old it is?
Where it comes from, how old it is. The art style, as far as you can tell, since you're an anthropologist, I can say this, is that it doesn't match up with any famous art style. It has the markings of somebody who is self-taught, in the fact that it is unique, a unique art style. The bones, I'm going to say that dating bones, especially ones that have been ritualistically kind of cleaned and prepared, is going to be kind of hard. You could give me a medicine check. I am going to say that is going to be a hard roll, though, if you do want to do that. Okay. Eb, I'm going to see that you start to see glowing green figures, but they're kind of staticky without your amulet. You see them, though, moving around a little bit, but it's like they're kind of jerking back and forth, like appearing at one end of the room and then another. It's kind of hard to keep them in focus at the moment. And Aldris, because you used an Arcana check, as you kind of dip into your archaic knowledge, or arcane knowledge, there we go, you start to feel a little bit of whispering in the back of your head of, "Come, join the performance. Join us. You must follow the necromancer's path." And then, Jens, what was your roll?
I rolled a 19.
Rolled a 19. Yeah, that's not going to be able to tell you how long this person's been dead, but you can tell it's been at least a few years from what you can understand. The paint is interesting, but yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense so far. It has been 15 years from how from when you did that. But
10 years. 10 years.
I thought we had said 15.
Just 10. Just 10.
That's kind of important.
Oh.
God. Before that, we're going to say that yes, it's been a while since you've done that. So it's possible the story has spread.
I am very surprised to see artwork of it down here, of all places, on someone's bones, no less. Can I keep the bone? I'm going to keep the bone.
I would not recommend keeping the bone.
You would have to. Do you want to keep all, like, the entire skeleton, or do you just want to keep like a part of it? Because it's drawn on the entirety of the skeleton.
I will
you can keep the skull. That's got most of the important scenes on it.
Oh, you know what? I'll take the skull. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
We should probably get out of here. Something is happening.
All right. I have no objections to that.
Eb puts down the skull pretty slowly. But is like, okay.
Okay.
As we leave the room, if you're going to let us leave, or as we get up to leave, Aldris is going to say, "Thank you for letting us investigate your remains. We hope you have a peaceful journey to the other side."
After hearing that, Jens
Just
puts his
be a little
skull down.
respectful. Keep things safer.
That's true. I do want to say that Eb, is there anything that Eb wants to do?
Eb wanted to try if she could feel the bone spirits.
Oh, absolutely. If you're wanting to practice your ability, then absolutely we should do it.
The skull is bugging me. The skull with the picture. Yeah, Eb's gonna go back in and just like pick up the skull again and really stare at it. And then try and, however she had done it before, I don't know.
I would like you to tell you what. I'll give you one last chance here. Give me a roll for. I don't even know what I guess just insight for memory, with advantage, for this much. DC 15.
19.
Okay, good. You remember that this scene quite reminds you of the story that Nissy told you a couple nights ago, or last night, technically, last night. Sorry, it's been a couple sessions. So last night, that was kind of the scene depicted within the book. This one seems to be more of an allegory or like a full scene drawn out. And in this scene, it does seem like instead of accepting his fate and laughing with it, the fisherman is horrified and did not accept the good with the bad and kind of was dragged down as sort of a warning. I will say that part of the depictions of the tentacles somewhat remind you of others that you've seen in other parts of the world when fighting some of the other corrupted people, but that might just be because tentacles look a lot alike. They can be drawn in very eerie ways easily, so they might resemble ones that are actually eerie and creepy in real life. So who knows? So that's what that is. And Eb, there is. I mean, beyond that, you do know that this has been, I guess, the first time you're seeing a lot of dead people who are being used for something, that are kind of having their spirit and their rest violated. And I guess with that, you rolled high enough that I'll also mention that this kind of all comes back to you with the fact that your tribe's duty used to be somebody who would sort this sort of thing out. Coming back with Aldris's speech about how the different forms of necromancy work, you might be able to discern that's maybe once upon a time necromancers were a big enemy of the Karenites, and they were something that they specifically were against and hunted. It's hard to tell. As she thinks on that, you guys do start to hear noises coming from the end of the hallway, where you just kind of hear something's dragging heavy, rusted along the floor, so it sounds like metal on stone, that is starting to come up the hallway.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
Mm-mm.
How big is the hallway at a glance? Like wide?
I mean, like, it can hold 2 or 3 people side by side, but in terms of, I guess, so like 10-ish feet across.
Okay.
What do you guys want to do you think? Do you want to hide? Do you want to get ready and fight? Do you want to...
Probably hide. We are rather under-equipped.
I don't know, though. We're in someone's bone pile. Should we just see who it is?
You could hide it.
I don't think this is a who. I think it's an it.
Let's hide or run.
Yeah, I'll hide. I guess. I think hiding's probably a good idea.
Okay. Everybody give me a stealth check. Tell me where you hide specifically, too. So there's 2 bunks, the toilet and the sink, and then there's out back into the hallway that's pretty barren, and the noise is coming. It doesn't sound fast. It sounds like meandering. Where would you like to hide? And then after you've told me that, roll me a stealth check.
It's coming from the hall, that's right?
Yeah, it's coming from the hall.
There's really not a lot of options here.
Mhm.
Ebb dives directly into the pile of bones. And I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay.
I'm gonna go try and tuck it under a bunk.
Jens is gonna hide
See,
under the
here's the
bunk.
thing.
Okay.
I rolled a 14.
Aldris got that fun, you have to join us message in the brain. And so they're thinking, this thing probably already knows where I am. And if I hide near the other two, they'll get caught. So I'm going to try and hide away from them across the hall if possible.
Man.
Interesting. Okay. So you're just gonna stand out in the hallway, I guess, then.
Like trying to duck behind a door or something, like anything.
Let's see. Out in the hallway, I mean, I'll say that there's a random, like, half-rotten crate out there you could try and hide behind. It's not going to hide a lot of your bulk, but you could. Either that or the open swinging door of the cell. Those are, like, the only two things out in the hallway.
I'll try the open swinging door, and I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Ev, did you want to hide in any specific skull or skeleton, or it's just kind of just diving in the
I thought
pile?
it was just like a big heap of bones, like a leaf pile.
That would be so painful to jump
Oh,
into.
yeah, you could stab.
That's what I was imagining. And Ebb just like right in.
Scrooge McDuck's,
I
but with
got
bones.
this one pile.
Oh boy. All right, so reminds me of the like.
So it's not. So I have to like hide next to a skeleton.
No, you can hide.
I lay down. I perfectly lay a skeleton on top of myself in every place. So I'm like I'm just like skeleton head like on top of my head, and I'm laying on the ground with the skeleton directly on top of me.
But your head is within the skull.
Yes, I'm wearing like a helmet.
Interesting.
Uh-oh. I don't like that interesting.
So
It's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late. What did you say you rolled for the stealth check?
Dirty 20.
Okay. So you guys find Aldris, you're gonna finally be able to see the thing that's coming up. It's another painted skeleton. It is carrying a pretty long, rusted broadsword that is dragging across the floor as it meanders along. It's not going to notice you, actually, even though the door you're standing behind is pretty much just a thin... I mean, it's just a bunch of bars. There's not really anything hiding you. You're just kind of staring at it through the bars as it just passes by.
Holding my breath, just like...
There is a good chance, like you said, that maybe he's ignoring you specifically because you're also a necromancer and that you've got the brain worm. But who knows? The skeleton is going to come in the room. It's going to look around. It is going to toss its sword aside. Jens, it's going to clatter under the bed and go hit you, but it's not going to do any damage. But it's like it's going to clatter on the floor and like hit right into you. It's going to hurt a little bit, but it's not going to. Do you make a noise?
Nope.
Tell you what, actually, roll me a con saving throw to see if you make a noise. Let's see here. DC, we'll make it easy. DC 13. 13.
Con is one of my saving throws, so that's helpful.
Okay.
It's helpful.
Meets it, beats it. DC 13. That's it.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a nat 1.
I rolled a natural 1.
What is the grunt that Jens lets out as the hilt hits into his side? His very, very broad side, since he's like nearly 8 feet tall.
It's sort of like a bit of a surprised.
It goes over and starts like lazily clawing and groping under the bed. Like not like it's angry or anything, but just kind of trying to look. Is there anything you want to do? Roll me a perception check real quick. Quick one.
Rolled a 15.
Okay. There are a bunch of rats running around you that are also on the floor. A few bugs as well. It's you don't know what it's searching for in terms of if it's searching for the sword or something else.
I don't know. I'm looking at my spells.
The natural spellcaster urge to look at spells the minute anything goes down.
I'm going to need a decision, Mr. Yarvison.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Blur on myself, which my body becomes blurry and shifty and wavery. Actually, no, that's silly. This thing can't see me, can it? Damn. All right.
It's starting to look under there. That might do something.
God, I'm terrified. Is it? You said it's groping for a sword?
You don't know. It's groping for something. You don't know what it's going at. It's not doing it aggressively, like it's angry or thinks there's like an enemy, but it does. It's looking just to grab something. It looks like.
Are there any objects nearby somewhere? There's just some rats, you say? Okay.
There's rats.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand on a rat, and I'm just gonna like toss the rat and try and get it to make a noise. Yeah.
All right. You squeeze a rat a little bit, and it squeaks, and it is grabbed by the skeleton as it and picks it up. You can see that it starts to look it over, and it starts to consume it as like a snack. And just swallows it. It splats down through its ribcage onto the floor with a splat. And squeeze our head a little bit. It picks up the sword as well, lays it nicely across the bed, and goes over to the skeleton pile. Eb, do you want me to roll this or do you want to roll this? This is a straight luck roll.
You can roll it. I don't want the pressure.
Oh, can't handle the pressure, can you, huh? All right, let me see how it is. Alrighty then. Let's see here. Oh, fuck. I missed it. How the fuck did I do that? All right, I'm just going to have another one. All right. So it goes down and it grabs the skeleton with the scene depicting Yarvison's life on it, which happens to be the skeleton that Eb implanted herself in, and throws it over its shoulder. And you guys see that there's kind of this disco ball kind of what is it? Dia de los Muertos kind of head where it's painted and it's got a light coming out of it, like you've put a candle in it now. Because on top, you guys, as it starts to walk out, you just hear the of Rocco and the light still shining off of out through the head of this skull, still going on, and it starts to get dimmer and softer as it goes away.
I forgot about Rocco.
They have not noticed you guys, so you could follow it or you could try and stop it. You could do a few different things. What do you want to do?
Can I Mage Hand its foot? Like just grab it, try and get it to drop for a second?
You could. Mage Hand has a pretty low limit for what it's able to like exert force on.
Oh yeah, I mean, if anything, just maybe, you know what? Forget grabbing it. I'm just gonna like poke it aggressively with my mage hand.
Poke it aggressively. Let me just make sure. You just point the range. The hand vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you. Manipulate an object, open a door, retrieve an item, or pour contents on a vial. This chain can attack that would carry more than 10 pounds. Okay, so that's within, let's say, within the realm of it, I would say. So you want to poke it aggressively. Anywhere specific, just like the head, or are you trying to poke the skeleton that's on his shoulder? Which skeleton are you poking specifically?
Poke the head. Poke the head. Yeah.
Poke the head of the carrying skeleton,
Yeah,
not the one.
big one. Yeah, the one one.
The one that's active. Okay. By the way, I will say that when you are picked up, Eb, you do notice that the bones kind of.
Wait, did it pick up all of Ebb? I thought it just picked up the skull.
No. Okay, so that's actually what it's get to real quick. Is that the skull, as it touched it and started to pick it up, the bones start to knit together and like kind of be connected, like it's on a marionette. So it's like it's being used for something now, like it's like a puppet almost, but it's all magically connected and is back in its original shape, so to speak. So when it slings Ebb over the shoulder, Ebb is kind of within the head. She's wearing like a helmet and a bodysuit of this thing, so she's within the skeleton, so she's being transported within it over its shoulder. You're gonna poke it in its head. It's not going to respond to the stimuli. It's going to just keep going on. It seems to have a program path, and it seems like it's not really looking to do anything but what its job is of grabbing the skeleton for something. It's going to get another 10 feet away. It's about 20 feet away from you guys now.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go after it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna try and football tackle it.
Oh, I was gonna go up and I was gonna try and command it to put the skeleton down.
That's a good idea. Why don't you try your way and then I'll try it my way.
Okay. I
Can
manipulate
I try and,
undead. I can
glide
do this.
out of the skeleton?
You there, thrall! Put down the skeleton. I require it for my own purposes.
So, okay, everybody said a few things at once here. So I'm going to say Al just goes first, but I want to just know what's happening so I can act this out as it's going on in sequence. Eb, you are trying to also get out of the skeleton.
I was going to, but I don't want to mess up their plan, so maybe not.
Okay, and Jens, are you still going to tackle the skeleton?
I'm going to wait for Aldris and Eb to do their things.
Okay. So
I'm trying to speak with authority and seem like I should be someone who should control this thing. Undead are generally kind of dumb.
Yes. Tell you what.
I'm just hoping it's not like fully golem-like programmed.
Give me an intimidate check. I'll say that.
Oh, I'm so intimidating. You can trust me. I'm very scary. Apparently I am. 15.
Oh yeah. You could phone call Zin and get him to do the intimidation check for you if you wanted.
I don't know Zin.
That was a lie. I was just trying to get Sylph's hopes up so I could crush them. You can't come over there.
Also, do you think Zin would talk to a necromancer?
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, I see you unmuted your thing. You better go back to muted or else. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm not the one who tried to commit a genocide.
Oh my god. All right, enough. We're not gonna get into the genocide debate tonight. All right, we're gonna go on with this one. It turns around and kind of now, actually, for the first time, regards you, and it goes, huh? It's taking a second to consider what's going on. It looks at you, and then it looks at the skeleton, and then looks back. It seems to be processing for a moment. Jens or Ed?
For your time.
Jens or Eb, is there anything you want to do in this moment before whatever happens next happens?
Prepare to wiggle out if the golem doesn't listen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is going. Oh, man. And it's going to keep moving along, turn away from you, Aldris. And from what you can tell, since you know a decent bit about necromancy, these things don't seem to have a personality. They don't seem to have anything left of their former lives that might give them any sort of free will. So you can definitely tell.
Oh no, an amateur.
This necromancy seems to be definitely more domination based rather than deal based. So that wasn't already on the cards. So Eb, why don't you try and wriggle out on give me a DC wriggling out. What would that be? I guess not sleight of hand. I guess it was acrobatics. This is like contortion, so I guess it's an acrobatics thing.
Are you sure it wouldn't be sleight of hand to like sneakily disappear?
No. Maybe stealth if you want to do that, but I think this is more acrobatics, honestly.
I'll do stealth.
Mm.
You said I could do stealth. This is too late now.
All right, fine.
28.
Just watch it. I'm not going to let it be this nice always. All right, fine. You are able to wriggle yourself out of the skeleton's rib cage, and you are able to wriggle onto the floor and drop as it continues along. And it continues down without noticing that it's lost some of its cargo.
Okay, let's go the other way.
We go the other way.
Stealthing away.
My God, that was so scary. I thought it was going to attack me.
That was the worst part of so far.
Yeah, I'll let you guys decompress.
You see that thing had a big
It
sword.
fucking touched me.
It picked me up, guys. But to be fair, I was looking really dope in my skeletal outfit.
It was pretty freaky. I would not recommend that experience to anyone.
Yeah, let's go back to trying to leave this awful place.
Okay.
Well, I still need somewhere to cast along with her to see if we can pinpoint the exact location of the heart. So we have to find somewhere preferably free from patrolling skeletons.
Well, I was going to say real quick, you were saying going back to trying to escape this place. I didn't think that was your goal at the moment.
I think I realized they probably meant like overall escape Scarthorn.
Yeah, that's very much the overarching goal here.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what do you?
I thought it was to stay and like rule the prison with an iron fist.
Yeah, that could be fun. Scarthorn's a cool place. Would that be?
It's got tons of ghosts in it.
I mean, it does. Yeah, got plenty of ghost stories. So that Aldris Warden story arc ? I'll write that down in my notes. The
prison industrial complex is kind of cool, actually.
I'm gonna quote that as you saying that as Max.
Don't, no.
All right, I won't put that in quote of the day, although somebody's got to put something in there. Not for now, but we gotta make sure we keep farming these quotes, guys. They're good quotes. But let's see. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do, though, is the question.
I thought we were trying to find a practice space. Yeah. / maybe the waiting center if we could.
Why don't we head towards the larger atrium area.
Mhm.
If necromancers frequent that place often, then it's likely that that's a good place to go off and practice.
So, where did you say that was? You wanted to go deeper, did you say? Or
Yeah.
Okay. What I was going to say is that if you went the other way of the skeleton, it would be away from the second corridor that you saw had a lot of traffic. So it is currently going toward your original place, the breakaway point. If you remember where I was saying, one, you could go toward a cell or you can go deeper in. So it's going back that way.
Mhm.
So you would still have to follow where it was going, if that's all right with you.
I mean, if you feel spiritual energy here, this is a feasible place to practice. I just don't know what the optimal conditions for you are.
If this is the spot, I can keep a lookout for more skeletons.
I mean, I guess, but it seems kind of risky, right? I mean, that guy just came out of nowhere.
True, but they don't seem very concerned with us.
Okay. Fair. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is as good a spot as any, I guess. Unless you want to go somewhere else.
I don't think there's... I think this should be okay. We have remains. That's generally a focal point for spirits.
Okay.
It should
Okay.
be fine. It should be fine. I get bad vibes here, but it should be fine. I get bad
That seems-
vibes throughout this whole prison.
Seems like yeah, that seems like great. Perfect. Bad
Plus, if
vibes
we
are
do
good
this
vibes.
correctly,
That's
we may be able to
not
cleanse
bad.
these bad vibes, actually.
Okay, eliminate the bad vibes. Just vibes. Just good vibes. That's great. Someone should make a sign of that. Just good vibes. Stick it on a wall. Bedroom ideas for when I finally get a home.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Wanted posters. A sign that says good vibes. That's gonna be rad.
A sign for the outside of my door that says, "Don't come in when I'm gaming." I'm hazarding a guess and imagining that hours of careful meditation are not the style of learning you do best with.
Well, this is
It's sitting
happening.
still with your eyes closed and contemplating your past, your future, and the decisions you've made.
Oh, while Aldris is talking, Ev is not paying any attention and has yeah, just throws her hand out, really focusing on the bones. It's really dramatic.
She is she?
I don't know.
All right. Well, she's focusing. It's first time in a while. That's good. Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Dope. Oh. Okay, a 12.
Okay. So you raise your hand out. You just hear womp 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 womp. Medicine womp 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 womp. Necromancy womp 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 womp. My home was destroyed. Womp womp womp.
I would like to think that Elmer, the ghost stick that's hanging out with me, is like making the hand gesture.
Yeah, you actually Elmer is like, listen to me, Eb. Reach out, feel the spirit. Do or do not. There is no try.
That's a bad lesson.
Elmer is
There is
small
a
and
try.
green.
No, he did. No, Elmer is going to be. he's got two splinters off, and they are clacking together like they are doing the hand motion that you were talking about. Or here, I'll turn on my camera for a second. They go on like that, as that is hearing, and as there is a coalescing of energy, and it swirls around the room of green smoke at first, and then winds and auras that become something like moving water. And then it looks like the Aurora Borealis is right in that cell with you. It swirls around you more and more as it lifts up your hair, and you can feel it rushing by you. And you feel sadness. There's a great sadness and bad vibes, as you might have described it. And you feel that these bones rattle and shift a little bit as they lift up and are covered in green energy. And a bunch of spirits break off and shoot out from them and sit all around the room, and you can look around and you see men and women of varying ages, races, and backgrounds all kind of sitting and staring at you sadly. And they just kind of look at you as it all stops for a second, and they just stare at Ebb.
Ebb's gonna go up to the nearest one.
Okay. The nearest one is a woman. She seems to have been more of a Great Basin Ocean sailor. She's got darker skin and dreadlocks. She looks at you sadly. She seems to be in her 30s at the time of death. And she kind of looks at you with a little bit of kindness and sadness. There are scars along her face, but she doesn't speak at the moment.
Ebb reaches out just to like put a hand out.
You put a hand out on her shoulder and you comfort her, and she smiles. She goes to try and speak, but then she gets afraid and stops.
All right, I'm just gonna go. I would just like to help.
You can see that.
Is there
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
What was that?
Is there something that you need?
You can see that she goes to open her mouth, and then she looks scared at the rest of them. And her voice speaks for the first time, and she says, "That's not my line."
What do you mean?
She's trying to mouth and do different things, but she's frustrated and has to stop. And then the rest of them start to echo as well. And the rest of them start to say, "That's not my line. That's not my line. That's not my line. It's not my line." And it just kind of comes in a chorus of, "That's not my line. That's not my line. That's not my line." And they all kind of stop as she waves them away, and she looks at you pleadingly, and she puts her hands in yours and kind of grasps them and squeezes them a bit. And she just stares at you for a second, trying to communicate with her eyes.
I think Ebb just holds her hands and smiles back. She's trying to figure out what the woman wants and what she means by "that's not my line."
I think Aldris just like realizing what's happening here just goes, "This is monstrous."
So the woman takes a deep breath and she looks over at Aldris, and she nods as well. She looks sadly at him. She doesn't seem to see Jens as much, and Jens, you're having trouble perceiving this. You can kind of see shapes and figures, but they kind of just look like blobs to you. They look like blobs of green energy since you're still magical, but you don't have the affinity with afterlife style magic or perception as these others do. So to you, it's all a bit creepy, and just when they're speaking, you just kind of hear shrieks and wails almost, and garbled, like it's being put through a radio that's buzzing. And Eb, she looks at you and she takes a deep breath and she says, "Please help free us." And as she says that, a shudder goes through her, and she starts to. You see that the paint that is on her bones, that looks like a floral arrangement, starts to mimic what is on her body, and you can see that she goes, and she starts shrieking and gasping in pain.
I don't know whether this works, but as soon as it happens, I'm casting Gentle Repose. So normally, I touch a corpse or other remains. For the duration, the target is protected from decay and can't become undead. I know they're already ghosts, but I feel like this will have some sort of soothing effect.
I like that. I like that you are willing to do that too, to help soothe this woman. And you can see that she locks up. She becomes kind of a plank, and she starts to float over her skeleton. But she's no longer in pain. She is, and breathes out, soft. It seems that the pain is subsiding. She is still kind of, you can tell that it's tense and she's locked, but she's no longer being put into being like punished, or there's no more pain being inflicted on her because you did that. And with that, you do kind of feel there's a shift in the air as the others around them look very afraid, and just kind of look at each other, and they start to return to their skeletons. And you do start to hear a bunch of rushing in the hallways.
Oh, shit.
Do you think you can break the chain? Do you think you can get in there and cut off whatever is controlling them?
I don't know what I'm supposed to look for.
Jens, do you think you can guard us while we do this?
Yeah, I'll watch your back.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down next to Eb.
Okay.
Take my hand.
Oop.
And I am going to touch the nearest set of remains, and I'm going to start trying to sort of suck us into the astral plane ish, like the ghost area, not quite the Atham area, the ghost lands.
Yeah, I'll say that I've been bad at describing this, but there is a distinction between the astral kind of psychic part and the kind of afterlife. So tell you what, why don't we, this is a good point to try and differentiate them. Let's say the astral plane, astral Atham, we'll say that is distinctly the psychic plane. Ethereal, we'll say the ethereal plane is where the death stuff happens. And hopefully no one will yell at me for making that distinction, unlike some people here. That's an inside joke, don't worry about it. But that is what was happening. You guys can go on the ethereal plane, and you guys can start looking into that. Jens, you start to hear a lot of sounds of trailing things down deep in the hallways.
Is there anything nearby that I could use as potentially as a weapon?
There's the rusty sword.
I will use a rusty sword.
Mm-hmm. You have a rusty long sword. So you ready yourself.
Does it do extra damage because of tetanus?
No, they're dead. They have no blood. Which I'm pretty sure.
What if one of them is only blood?
There is. Okay, I'm not gonna get into this right now. We gotta get through the material, guys. Before Soph complains that we have too. I'm favoriting you guys and giving you longer sessions. So we've gotta get to that real quick. Yes, you guys go into the plane and you see a line of people. You see a line of people there, that were just in the other room. As you concentrate and meld into it, all of them are painted. They look like what they looked like before, but they're a mix of what it was before in their life and what they're painted like now in their skeletal forms. And you are kind of just looking at all of them, and they all seem to be looking towards somewhere off in the distance, and they all seem to be looking at notepads of some kind.
That's the link. Essentially, whenever a necromancer is controlling a spirit, they have to, in this way, they have to either tether themselves directly to the spirit, or they have to create some sort of beacon or object of power that controls them. In the ethereal plane here, we can target that directly and crush it. Once it's destroyed, the undead, the spirits will be free in the mortal plane as well.
Okay. So we can just attack stuff from here?
Yes. Though I doubt whoever is doing this will be too pleased about what we're about to do. If I had to guess, the notebooks are the manifestation of their control here.
I will say that you just in case there was confusion, I don't know if I understood fully. You can't go to the beacon in the ethereal plane and destroy it in there. You can destroy it in the real world, and it will break the connection.
We can target connections though in the ethereal plane, can't we?
Depends what you mean. Like, tell me what you want to do, and I'll see. I'll go about it that way, because it kind of can get nebulous.
So my plan is we cut off. We basically interfere with the broadcast from the beacon to the spirits that controls that, and that way we can free them from the control.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
If they have lines, then because it looks like they're reading from notebooks, if we remove their ability to know what lines they have, they shouldn't be constrained by them, is my theory in my head. That might not be right, though.
Mm-hmm. As you guys are thinking about this, Jens, you are going to see Rocco is now with you. He's like, I'll keep you covered, boss. I'll watch your back. And you see a horde of skeletons approaching lackadaisically from at least your front, and you also hear Rocco say, shitload of skeletons on your 6.
Thank you, Rocco. I'm going to do something really cool.
Okay.
And Jens puts his hands over his sword and pulls it back as it erupts into a fiery blade as Jens casts elemental weapon on it.
Ooh, pretty. Is it a red fire, green fire? Is it?
It is a white fire. It is a white hot flame.
Ooh, okay. So you're able to cast elemental weapon. Are you going to take a strike at the? They're walking over to you lazily. Do you take a strike at these zombies / skeletons? As they get closer, they're gonna be on you in a moment here, but you are gonna have the first attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna start by taking a swing at them.
Okay, roll to hit. It's going to be a broadsword, rusted. So it's going to be are you proficient? I think you should be, right, in these type of weapons.
I believe so.
Okay, so proficiency plus strength, and then the damage is going to be 1d6 plus strength.
And elemental gives me +1 as well. $19.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, so roll me damage. We're gonna do cleave rules for this moment because you're in a narrow hallway and you're a big guy swinging a big sword. So you're gonna be cutting through swaths of them as you do this.
What's the hit dice?
D6 plus strength.
Okay, 4 regular damage and 4 fire damage.
All right, one moment, please. All right, so you cleave through 4 of the closest zombies on this end. There, you cut through about a fourth of the ones that are advancing on you. They fall into shambles, and the other ones step over from it. Rocco is going to say, getting closer behind you, boss. And then you're just going to. It's going to seem like there's going to be it's going to be a long evening. I guess by now you guys are probably an evening night. We're going to cut back to Ebb and Aldris. What do you guys want to do to try and stop the influence for the most part to test this theory out?
I guess take the notebooks away if we can.
Yeah.
All right. You go over to the lady that you were talking to before, and you take the notebook out of her hand. You see that she relaxes a little bit. She does point at her painting on her. And then she points over toward the beacon. But for the moment, she does seem to be a little bit freer. And she seems to be able to relax. So you can do it momentarily, but is there anything else you want to do to try and make the...
Not a permanent effect.
Well, yes, for the moment at least. Do you want to try and do anything else? Right now, it's definitely not a permanent solution.
Burn the books?
Yeah, I'll try and destroy it.
Yeah, okay. And then obviously she doesn't like the paint.
Yeah.
I don't have my Gooby gone. Oh,
If only there was a monster that specialized in cleansing with goo around here, but alas, all we have is Morchell ain't. Then again, she would have just, or they would have just
one, and it's all you're ever known for.
You one child. Do they call you Marcella?
Our undoing. Okay. I guess can I use some thaumaturgy, make a flame, and try and set it on?
Sure. I think normally thaumaturgy is I think doesn't produce flame.
I can cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for a minute.
I mean, we'll say in the ethereal realm that's fine, but normally it's not used to create flame. Not the rules lawyer or anything like that. Yeah. But you know, you generate ethereal flames just by being green ebb, so that counts.
Yeah.
So you're able to conjure a little green flame, and it is able to burn the book of both of these thralls that you have, and they start to relax even more, and they are able to kind of start moving, and their paint on them starts to fade a little bit, but doesn't go away permanently. And you can see that they, what the lady says to you again, he might still call us. He might still call us. Roll call. Always roll call. And then we're going to cut back to I almost said Zen. Yen.
To Zen.
No.
Crying.
Discount Zen.
Discounts. We're going to cut back to Zen crying in his bedroom.
We're going to cut back to Gronson.
Which I can't believe there's beef between Gronson and Zen already. I was hoping they'd be friends. I can't believe this. But
Zen will never be friends with someone in the church higher than him.
Yeah, that's not Gronson's fault. You can't just be jelly because people like him more.
Basically, imagine Zin, but better, and that's Gronson.
Oh my god! All right, well, Jens, what is your health total?
On my sheet, it says it's 40. My max is 68.
Okay. So let me roll a few things here. And do you know what your armor class is without any armor?
Isn't it 12?
It's 10 plus
Plus
dex.
dex, yes.
Then it's 11.
All right. You are going to... You are going to take 10. You are going to take 25 points of damage as you kind of get eaten
Jesus.
here and there. Give me 2 attacks back at the shambling hordes.
23, 25.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're gonna buy some more time with that. Roll me 4 attacks, so 4d6.
Uh, 4 slashing, 3 fire. 7 slashing, 3 fire. 4 slashing, 4 fire.
Okay.
And 6 slashing, 3 fire.
All right. And how do you distribute this? Are you going, just trying to even it out between front and back, or are you just going full steam ahead? How do you want to go about? So I can even up the zombies.
They're coming from both directions, right?
They're coming from both directions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna the closest on either side. I'm gonna be every time one gets close. From either side, I swing forward and then right back around like a little fiery blade of ball. Tasmanian Devil of Death. There you go.
All right. So you swing and slash on the other side. You're spinning around in the dark. It makes this beautiful glow and circle effect as there's light trails from the pale or the dim light. It falls. It looks beautiful if there was anybody to see it. You slash down 15 zombies in the blink of an eye. And both sides of the corridor are becoming a little choked with the bodies as they move them away. But there are still more coming. But you're cutting them down, and you're giving your buddy some time here. Aldris and Ebb, what do you see that they're still pointing toward this? It seems to be very illuminated in the ethereal plane, off in the distance. What would you see it? What do you want to do? Do you want to go and see it? Do you want to try and work with them some more? You could try and burn up some more books. These 2 spirits are starting to move away from it, and they're able to actually fly away from it, where it seems the rest are drawn toward this big illuminated thing in the distance.
Do you want to see if what do you think is the best course of action here?
One of us stays to burn the books, and the other goes to the light.
Okay. Well, are you more comfortable burning the books or heading off to the light, which I imagine is some sort of stage?
Yeah, I'll go to stage. That sounds cool.
Okay, I will start destroying books.
Burn the books.
Aldris, you start to burn the books. It seems to have less of an effect. They're still burning and they're still falling away, and the spirits that are freed start to move away from the stage, and they thank you. You hear, "Thank you. Fine.
Okay.
Freedom." And a lot of them are able to move away from it finally. But you do notice that the books aren't fully burning like when Ebb was using her flame.
So you're way better at this. Your innate talent way higher than mine.
Also, special blood, maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? But Ebb is now going toward the stage, and you're going to see packs and hordes of just bodies and heads looking toward this stage of immense grandeur. gilded sides of molding on the sides that is beautifully shown. You can't even see the end of it. You just see parts of it. And you can't see exactly what's going on. The lights are too blinding, and all of these clamoring souls seem to be like shambling fans and screaming hordes. But as you get closer, you just hear, "Please, let us go. Please, no more. No more. We're tired. Let us rest." But you can hear music and singing and just general soliloquy playing over it, as if something is drowning them out, and it's playing together in an odd symphony that is very disconcerting. Is there anything you want to say or do before we pull back to Jens real quick?
No.
Okay. So with that, Jens, what is your health total right now?
15.
15, okay. Give me one attack roll.
22.
Okay. Give me 5 attack rolls.
Fuck. Do you care about damage type? Do I need to?
For now, I don't. I think this last one, it's not going to matter as much.
11. 11 again. 10. 5. And 11.
Oh man, you're doing a lot better than I was expecting. You are slicing and dicing. Everything is becoming just like it's becoming horrifying in the hallway right now. There are bodies acting as sandbags and piles upon piles of just dead. The zombies are struggling to get through the hallways as they clear out more of their dead to get to you, but it's just getting packed in like sardines. As your clothes are torn, you're getting a little bloody. You hear Rocco say, "Uh-oh, boss, you might want to turn around."
I turn around.
In front of you is a hulking mass that still has flesh on it. It is a gnarled face of just teeth and bones inserted in weird places. Its spine is sticking out, but is muscular beyond belief. Wielding what looks to be a bone wrapped in chains, made from iron stockings, or I guess they would be iron handcuffs, however you want to call them. And it is just looking directly at you. And let me roll real quick. All right. And it's going to hit you. And you are going to take, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There you go. You're going to take 17 damage.
Ooh, I'm down.
You are going to get hit on the head, and the world goes black. We're going to go back to Eb real quick, and Aldris. Aldris, you finish up with the. Sorry, I heard an echo there for a second. You finish up with everybody in the room. You've burnt all their books. There's a smoldering corner of each of them as they look to you gratefully, and they all whisper, "Thank you. You're so kind. Thank you. Finally. Please, thank you. You've done what we couldn't. We're finally able to think again." And they start to float off, all looking at you with respect and love for the first time in a long time. And you start running over toward the stage. and you see just Ebb staring at this stage, almost enraptured, hypnotized among this throng of glowing people. And you see that there's somebody on the stage. There's somebody on the stage singing and dancing while all of these people cry out in anguish and pain.
Ebb is like entranced.
I'm going to say yes, she is. She is looking a little entranced. She's looking a little stunned, like she doesn't know what's going on almost, or she doesn't know what to do. Yeah, she is. But she doesn't necessarily look harmed in any way.
Okay, I'm gonna jump onto the stage and try and stop the singing.
You claw your way through the crowd. You get up toward the edge of the stage. This gilded, beautifully carved and marbled place. It's got oak and cedar floorboards. It is varnished and well cared for. There's not a splinter in sight. Lavish silk curtains. And you see there's a shining figure. You can see it's a man. You can't exactly see what they look like, but it's so bright. You try and claw your way onto stage, and as you do, the world suddenly scopes and elongates like a fisheye, and you start getting pulled back to reality. The same thing happens to you, Ebb. And the last thing either of you see is the pommel of a sword coming down and cracking you over the head, and the world goes black. So, congratulations. First TPK. No, I'm joking. We actually haven't. Not yet. And Atham wasn't there to save the. No. I really shouldn't. I shouldn't do this. I'm really egging on the worst habits of this group if I make those jokes. But they're so funny. You guys never let me have any fun. You guys are going to kind of go in and out of consciousness, and you see that you're being carried over the shoulder by the skeletons. You're going down dark hallways. Some of them start to become more and more lit, and you all start to groggily kind of feel you're being set into something. And I want you all to make con saving throws.
Oh no. Ooh no, not at all.
14.
That would be a 5.
Sorry, give me one sec. Parents are texting me.
No worries.
Okay. What am I rolling?
Con saving throw.
Okay. Wonderful. 16.
All right, so Ebb, you're gonna wake first. I believe you said you had a 14 yens, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna go Ebb, Yens, and then Aldris. Ebb, you are able to wake up. You're at low health. 1 to 5. You can roll that later if you'd like. You wake up and you realize you're tied to what looks to be like a makeshift auditorium chair. It's made out of some, upholstery and leather and cushion, but also some of it is made out of bone and stone. In a slapdash kind of, or not slapdash because it's actually had some care taken to it, but it is made out of these materials that no one with taste or real decorum would ever make. You see that Aldris and Jens are tied up right next to you to a bunch of chairs.
I try and escape the chair.
Okay. You start struggling against it. Give me a. I don't even. What would this be? You're kind of tied pretty tight. There's not really any sneaking out of it. Uh,
What about just like brute strength?
okay, roll brute strength. Sure. DC.
Ebb flexes real
It's gonna
hard.
be DC 20.
D10. I
You
got
got 10.
10.
Okay.
The ropes strain a little
Yeah,
bit.
they're a little scared. They're a little frightened right now, but they're trying to hang on. Jens, you wake up next and you see the same thing Ebbs does. You're able to look up. You're a little taller than her, so you can see above that there is a large, what looks to be kind of like a pile, but evened out of bones up ahead. But you look and you see rows and rows of these auditorium seats around you, and you're tied to one, same as Ebb, with stone, a little bit of leather, and some cushion, and some bones. And you're just looking around. And what do you want to do?
I'm gonna also try and get out of these ropes.
Okay.
I can try and force my way out of it.
Okay. Give me a roll. DC, you're bigger, so they would have put on a bit more. So DC 22 strength check.
Oh, I need to roll a natural 20. So that's literally the only thing I can do. Yeah, well, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay. So yeah, you also flex on the ropes. What did you roll out of curiosity?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, so the ropes learn to be less afraid of you. The ones on Ebb are still a little scared, but yours are kind of. They're like, we got this guy.
Is there anyone nearby? Because can I do a little perception check, perhaps?
Sure, do a perception check.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 1 on that, so there we go.
It's not many people that you can see, no. Aldris, you're going to wake up. Same deal for you. You can see also pretty far around. You're a little groggy. What would you like to do upon waking up?
Does the rope count as a non-magical plant?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll try and strain to break it like the other two have instead of casting a 4th level spell.
Okay. This one, I'm going to say specifically because this rope seems to be made out of human hair.
Yikes. Gross.
Yeah. This is, yeah, you can bust out of this one. Again, you're a little bigger, so they would have used more on you. Can you give me a DC? I'll do DC 20 strength check on you.
20.
You got 20?
Unnatural, disgusting 20.
All right.
I have a +3 to strength.
You bust out of these hair ropes. You are able to do that. You're able to do that. You kind of break out. You're not able to get fully out. Like you don't just Hulk it.
I don't just go.
But you're able to snap them, and you can feel yourself starting to come loose, and you can start and shimmy out, and then work on it from there. But it's going to take some time. As you do, the doors burst open, and there's a bunch of lights that come on from above. They seem to be some kind of magic. And you can see that a man is being transported to the stage, and you can hear him say, "No, please, I'm sorry. I was just searching for some extra gear. Or trying to get out. I wasn't meaning to disrespect." And he's being carried by 2 skeletons, painted skeletons. You can see that there's a couple of those giant beasts with those chain clubs that you saw, Jens. And you guys all hear from the stage, "There's no need to be sorry. Please, we always welcome another player on the stage. Why don't you come up and join me, young man?" Who said that?
Is it gonna be like?
Sorry, what'd you say?
No. Keep going. I just have a guess about what's happening.
The skeletons throw the man on the stage, and he. What's going on? Oh, don't worry. I'll let you go. Just, please, I could use an extra pot here. We're having a special
today, an Erosian special. We're felt a little bland, a little needing to spice things up, so we're having an Erosian play, the Yarvison Saga, actually. Would you be willing to play a part in it? Yeah, if you let me go, I'll do whatever you want, man. Please. He's like, of course, wonderful, wonderful. There in front of you, you see a stage light beams directly down onto a book, right there, and the gentleman looks over and grabs it tentatively. Yes, there you go. Now, all you need to do is read a few lines from there, and will be quite set. I just need to practice with somebody.
It's a bad plan.
Do you say this out loud?
Yeah.
You're pretty far away from the stage. Roll me.
I need exact numbers as well.
You are.
Am I perhaps within 60 feet?
I was gonna say you're about 60 feet away. So you said you need exact. What spell are you casting?
There's nothing yet.
I'm going to say this guy is.
I don't think it would work if I can't see the person casting the spell, though. So
that's the thing, is the person is not out on the
okay,
stage
I
right
can't
now.
do it then.
So yeah, this
I was gonna
person's about
counterspell him.
60 feet away. If you want to roll persuasion, you can, but it's going to be at a disadvantage because you're yelling it from quite a distance.
Sure. Come on, dice, don't let me down. That's a 4.
The guy's like, what is, why shouldn't I? Don't listen to him, please. If you want to get out, we must do this. I have a curtain call to make, please. You will be playing the part of Mr. Yarvison, and I would suggest you get it right, because you're being reviewed, shall we say, by someone who knows the part quite well.
Oh my god.
With that being said, he's going to pick up the thing, and he's going to pick up the playbook, and he's going to start reading a little bit. I, Yarvison, trade mine eye, please, with a little bit more forte. Higher voice, son, please. This is the theater. You must hear in the back row. We've got guests. And they go, Yarvison, trade my eye for knowledge untold to stop the menace of Torgold. Yes, good. I like the bravado. Say it louder. And you can see that as he's starting to speak more, he is starting to be covered in a little bit of a shiny magical layer. And slowly it seems that a scene of waves and fishing is starting to take place on his bones. You hear in the background somebody saying, doesn't seem to be a good match. And he says, continue. I shall forever protect mine village from the gimlet eyes of evil. And as he says evil, the book disappears. It decays away, and his body starts to convulse and move rapidly. Yes. Well, you'll see that once you get the theater bug in you, it's hard to leave, wouldn't you say? And a floating hand grasps a elegant-looking sword, if not dulled, and in one clean stroke, decapitates the man who's convulsing, and his flesh starts to fall away, and he becomes what looks to be a skeleton with the scene that was on his skin now painted on the bones as he falls to the floor.
I do not like having my good name associated with this.
I don't like having my good art associated with this.
I don't like this.
Honestly, this guy's a hack.
Everyone's a critic, he says, as he floats down from the rafters. All of a sudden, a mishmash of bones that... Aldris, give me a perception check real quick. Or a medical check. You can do either one.
Oh, then definitely medicine. Oh my god. 29.
Yeah, so this guy, something seems completely wrong with the skeleton that's being formed. Multiple heads are getting interchanged. Femurs that don't go with certain species are there. It's like he's become a mismatch or mishmash of different types of skeletons, and they all flow into this beautiful purple robe. Who takes a bow and says, "Why, thank you for coming tonight. Welcome to the play, the greatest play of all, Eternal and Undying, presented by the great Nicolaius," as he raises his arms in a theatrical kind of just salutations and says, "I'm so glad you could join me. I always love having a captive audience." I like how that got you, Reese. I can't believe that. And
Did that get Eb too?
yeah, did that?
Yeah, Eb laughed.
There's somebody with some of the theatrical spirits. I think we'll get along fine. Now, if you would be so kind to come up and join me on stage, I don't bite. And I think we have some business to discuss. Beyond your parts in the play, don't worry.
Was he talking to Eb?
He was talking to all three of you guys. He's looking right at you.
Aren't they both stuck in chairs?
They are.
Yes.
And a couple skeletons are going to come over and starting to untie you guys. But is there anything you guys want to do? You are all on like between 1 and 6 health. You can roll for that. Just reminding you.
Oh, okay.
He did say that. Well, I tell you what. I think we're going to end it there as he says, "Why don't you come and join me on stage?" As we're going to zoom out from the halls of the catacombs, go back out through Scarthorn's recreation yard, and out back through the skies as we all look down on the island and see what's going on from the stars' point of view. Unless anybody has any objections to that, if they want to do anything dire in the last moment there.
No, I think I'm good. Seems like a good fun.
No.
Trying to think of something dramatic to do, and I can't.
Yeah, that's right. That's just because Nicolaius just showed up all of you bitches. He's like,
Oh, I have something dramatic to do, but I want to upstage him. So I'm going to wait until we're right up in his face.
uh-huh.
Jens makes a mental note to sue this guy for copyright infringement.
Well, we'll explain it later as another point, but for reference, Brayden, I mean, there are definitely. I forget what did you call your homeland again? I've forgotten the name of it.
Logria.
Logria, right? But your story has been turned into a play, and it's kind of been exported around the world. So there's Logrians who have probably come to this prison either through accident, maybe trade or wardening, just as an ambassador, or just even as a prisoner who could have potentially, especially in the last 10 years, who could have stumbled on into this part of the world and told him the story, and then added to his repertoire of plays and sagas and art. But here, wait, what did we miss? Oh God, Cameron's threatening me again. Well, here, let me kick out Craig. Craig, thank you for joining us today.
Bye, Craig.
Bye, Craig.
I hate the
Bye, bitch.
performing arts.